Yeah, well,
then it's like Dragon Ball Z. You guys are punching each other's fists.
Well, yeah, I'm gonna max out potence
So we
and then
are
immediately go to
live.
fortitude.
Ew.
Hello.
I enjoy the sort of like
Surprise!
well, that, but I meant more the like she's been angering Samisi with this one weird trick. Find out what. Click here. Hi everyone, how's it going? How's the world feeling today? It is snowy and lazy here, and I am not. Let's see. You can see, like, there we go. My fashion is not ready for the day. However, I think our Sabbat are 100% ready to go.
Yes.
They're looking. I was pointing out, Thrak, the foof that I had, but you're right. I am also bald, so thank you for pointing that out. By the way, I just want everyone to know that coming up within this week, I think, it is Thrak Plays' birthday, and I'm not going to say how old he is, but I am going to say that he's deeply embarrassed about it, and
and we love him very much.
Oh,
and it
sweet!
Was
so it was yesterday, even better. So he is now, however old that is, and I'm just gonna let that sit there.
Do you want to guess on air?
No, we're not good enough friends for me to remember. I mean, I got you a sweet gift, but whatever. Fuck me. So,
but was there pizza? Double pizza.
There will be pizza tonight.
There you go.
Yep. He doesn't look a day over 60. That is true. Much in the same way I don't look a day over 80. So, getting back on track. Sweet undead creatures of the night. Deeply murderous and awful things that want to destroy and burn and own, dominate everything that there is within their sight. Yeah, there you go. There it is. There's the sweet number. So, how's it going, everybody? My players, how you doing?
Going good. I'm
all right.
I'm tired, and I gotta go in to do overtime work after this game.
Oh, that sucks, man.
At the same time, overtime pay? Yes, maybe?
Yeah.
Okay.
Very true.
Makes
Time
it
and a half.
a little better. Yeah, that was always the struggle. It's like, well, time and a half, hooray, but like, I don't know, is my time worth, I don't know.
It's blood money. It's blood money. There's no doubt about it.
Yeah,
it's blood money,
yeah, exactly. All right, so we are going to continue in the same evening as we were before. All of the events up to where we ended last stream only took up about 4 hours. So what you're actually looking at is...
We are efficient.
Yes, you are.
Get shit done. Lost their hands.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. No, it was grand.
Don't worry about it.
So, assuming that you take a little bit of time to convalesce, you make it back home, then Ivan, you finish your shift up a little bit early for no particular reason. It's just everything's going really smoothly, and they're like, hey, we don't need you. Why don't you head on home? And you're like, yes, absolutely. That sounds nice. That's fine. I'll go. So that will be available to you. But first, I do want to talk to you a little bit about what's going on while you're there at the hospital. So we're actually going to start in with you. So we're going to backtrack a little bit of time to sync up both of our groups. That would be Ivan and everyone else and their shenaniganery in Chinatown. So first off, before we get into any of this, what the hell happened last time? Who wants to talk about it?
I can.
Then talk.
So we were trying to follow up on some leads. We had heard that there was a potential way to some good eats on somewhere around Chinatown. We weren't sure. Benny the Fish gave us some insider info because he came in to check out.
She froze. Who wants to pick up from there?
You're back if you wanted to continue. Or...
No.
All right. We went to Chinatown to try to find food for Eddie, I think in particular, because he has a difficult time finding food. And when we went there, Eddie had told Roxy and to kind of sneak around and see what she can find if we do come across someone shady, to kind of check out the back works and see what's going on. Recon. She did so, and Isaac aided her, and it ended up in a rather large man dying a pretty horrific death with his spine. I think his spine exploded or something.
Yeah,
kneed him to the spine so hard that he died. So I can only imagine his internal organs ruptured immediately.
Yeah, well, the thing is that, the spine is located near to all the rest of the body. And when you kick with that amount of force, it's not so much that he, severed the guy's spine and that's what killed him, is more like he Chuck Norris roundhouse kicked mostly through him.
Gotcha.
I fired several pieces of his spine into all the other important bits of his body.
Yeah.
It's like he got hit by a speeding car, essentially.
Yeah.
So the trauma killed him. He died. Those two immediately ran into the city, were pursued by people who don't know. Me and Gianna were approached by several men in suits carrying weaponry. We were brought...
Long pork? Do you have long pork?
While we were trying to... I was trying...
Well, they were failing to pick up any lead whatsoever.
I was trying to find anything I could and couldn't, because Chinatown is infuriating. So we got... On purpose, it's purposely infuriating to me. We were brought down into the basement of the Pearl, where we met a mysterious woman known as Madame Zhao, who is most definitely scary as balls. In speaking to her, she demanded retribution for her dead doorman. We kind of didn't know what she was talking about, but we knew the jig was up. She found us. She knows that we were all together. So Eddie offered to punish, instead of their lives, Gianna quickly told her she's not going to harm our teammates, and then dominated Madame Zhao.
I dominated Madame Zhao.
Madame Zhao then was like, well, then something has to be done. Eddie offered the price of, what if I bring you one hand each from each of them as, compensation. She agreed only under the condition that Eddie would then have to eat the hands, which he agreed gladly, because who cares? So we brought them down, lopped off a hand each, scolded them naughtily, and Eddie devoured their hands greedily. And I think that's where we left off, was Eddie tearing into the bones and sinew.
This is your punishment.
Yeah, mostly because I liked ending on that image.
Who doesn't? That's a good one.
So, Navuti, we'll eat hands or really whatever else happens to come our way. Particularly, Eddie, he's an equal opportunity consumer.
Yeah, I think it's time for the content warning.
And so to that end, exactly, and thank you for pointing that out. It's a good segue. So just a warning to anyone who is watching this game that this is a fairly mature game. Vampire on its own is fairly mature, and our particular brand of it, because we are playing the Sabbat, which is a faction of vampire society in this game world that is perhaps more brutal even than others. If you have issues with descriptions of gore or body horror or other similar sorts of things, this is unfortunately not the game for you. We're happy to have you if this is your bag, but if things like that are gonna squick you out too badly or anything like that, there are 13 other games on the stream, all of which are I think probably a bit more in line with where you might be. So please do feel free to check those out.
There's 2 other Crusade of Thorn campaigns. You can follow the Camarilla or the Anarchs. Camarilla being on Welcome to the Party, or Anarchs being on Soul Bear RPG.
Yeah, the Anarch game, though, I think they may get into some of our territory from time to time. Watch the Camarilla. They're basically, it's like The Office as an RPG.
Yeah, set on fire.
Murder Office, basically.
Yeah.
Also, Michi is correct. Also, the Pokemon game is getting pretty dark and brutal these days.
An eclipse phase.
Wait. Are you telling me that a game about pit fighting animals enslaved to people that somehow that might get dark?
We skinned one of the panda Pokemon to make a backpack out of it.
Oh my god! Okay,
That's
well,
horrible.
You're horrid.
I am now going to be watching the Pokemon game. Shogun, when is the Pokemon game?
Oh, we played last Thursday. It's every other Thursday.
Every other Thursday on this channel. At what time?
For you, it'd be 8:30.
8:30 Eastern. Excellent. Okay. Well, so that's a plug for the Pokemon game. They skinned a Pancham. Awesome.
Yep.
So, to make a backpack. I'm sorry. That's excellent. That's like, I feel like that's maybe a little bit of the Sabbat game bleeding into others. Or you could argue that the Pokemon game's bleeding over into ours. Either way. So that is what all went down. Unless you guys have an issue with it, I'm gonna say that after he ate your hands, you guys left the building and found yourselves some form of transportation to head back home.
Only addendum to that is I want to get a cab. Specifically taking the time it takes to hunt down a cab that doesn't, because that guy said that those radio things are kind of advanced and not everyone has them. Find one that doesn't have one.
Okay.
And then have him take us.
Okay. So you want to get some lonely cab driver that you can easily dispose of and steal his cab?
Yes.
An Uber driver, if you will.
Yes, please.
Okay. So I'm gonna
Uber Eats.
Uber Eats. Oh my god.
Oh, no.
About 60 years too early, but fantastic. Okay. So real quick then, what
Can
I'm
I
looking
change
for.
that to my feeding style?
Yes. Why am I not seeing any of the character sheets? Hang on.
I have mine.
Yeah, I'm
yeah.
in mine.
No, I understand that you guys can see yours. I can't see any of the characters all of a sudden. Throck, I'm going to leave that question to you. I can't access character sheets, and I don't know why.
Death is saying refresh.
Oh, well, okay.
What? Oh.
Because that solves all problems in Roll20.
Do you need some
More or
information
less.
from us?
So I just needed to take a look at a character sheet and remind myself which roles. Here we go. Okay, it's working just fine.
Yeah, for all of my games, I have a blank character sheet just to look there and say, hey, what are the skills? I forget.
Exactly. Okay, so here's what it's going to be. I need one of you, and I don't care who does the search. I need one of you guys to make for me. It's going to be intelligence and intelligence and either awareness or investigation. Either is fine depending on. Yes, I did turn it off and on again, Throck. Awareness is the big stat, and awareness or. Hi, my name is Zed, and this here is the Sabbat game. So give me. It's going to be awareness or investigation, whichever you're better at, with intelligence
Just one person?
as the stat. One person
Which
to
it
make this
looks
roll. I
like.
don't care who.
Okay.
Not me.
Gianna did it.
There we go. Gianna got 2 successes. She found you guys the kind of cab it took. She got it on the second try. It seems like the cab company that is the one that actually has those sweet radios is also, like, they're not the biggest company, but they're one of the bigger ones, and they seem to be doing pretty well right now. possibly because they have better technology than the others. So you found one. So at this point, you get in, you send them back your way. Are you trying to do anything funny? Because otherwise, like, this is going to go pretty smoothly. Like, this is the sort of thing that you can do without too much effort.
No, the only thing I want to do is seduce him when we get back to the hotel because I'm hungry.
Okay. Okay. So he gets in the car. Or rather, you guys get in the car. He's not very chatty. As far as seduction is concerned, that is going to be, we'll call it persuasion and charisma. Yeah.
I can do that.
Do you want it to be manipulation?
I was thinking manipulation.
So manipulation is for getting someone to do something they don't want to do.
Okay, fine. I just have to charm him enough.
Right. You're a pretty lady. It's not hard to make this guy want to go with you.
Okay. I am. I do have. Where did it? Oh, okay. Never mind. I took a different thing. I thought I had the beautiful. So, boop.
Okay. Oh, wow. 4 successes. Yeah, he comes with you and will do basically whatever you want. How do you actually feed?
I'm a siren.
By the way, where am I hearing the music from?
Roll
Thank
20.
you. Okay.
Yeah, roll 20.
That's Roll20's music right now? Okay.
Should
No.
be.
So
Yes.
it sounded like reggae.
Well, it's the
If you go
samba.
to the little gear of the settings, you can turn it
Yeah,
down.
it's samba.
No, I know. I'm confused because I'm the one in Roll20 and I'm not hearing. I didn't think I had that turned off. Okay, so I apologize for all the random technical annoyances today. Yeah, I can't hear shit, and I have it. Okay, whatever. I'll futz with that later.
Gianna, can you mute it on your end out of curiosity?
Oh, so much better.
Yeah, if you mute
There
that,
it
you
was.
can mute the tab really easy.
Okay, so I'm sorry. Please again describe how do you feed?
It's frozen.
Oh, I swear to.
She froze.
There we go.
Plus
And
she was
back, coming
concentrating.
slowly, kind of.
No, my God.
Why?
Anything that you have on that can be turned off needs to be turned off. Thank you, Katie, for hosting. Holy crap. Yeah, Gianna, I don't know what is happening.
I don't know either. I apparently am not allowed to do anything.
How do you feed? I swear to God. Okay, we're just going to skip right on past this for now because it's just not happening. The moment she tries to talk, it screws up.
Why doesn't somebody read out what siren actually means?
Yeah.
Because I did not read that bit because I knew it wasn't my
I try to
character.
find it in my rule book.
You feed almost exclusively during or while feigning sex.
Yep.
And you rely on your discipline, seduction skills, and the unquenchable appetites of others to conceal your carnivorous nature. So basically, you get freaky and you take blood.
Yep. So you take the poor, unwitting cab driver upstairs, or downstairs. Downstairs. You take him over to your room, and he is yours, and we will do a feeding roll. Let me quick ask, do you drain him entirely or leave him alive?
Oh no, I'm hungry.
Okay.
I would hope you drain him entirely because
We
I'm already
picked a
repainting.
specific
his
cab
car.
on purpose.
You're already repainting his car.
Yeah, I was actually going to say I'm ripping. I'm going to try to get the license plates off to try to find different license plates and put them on.
Okay.
Like he's not even. He's like just closes the door. Like, all right.
Yeah, let's get in the chop shop.
Time to go to work.
You just
Like-
roll it around back and start Working on it.
Okay.
I'll assist however I can. I don't know anything about it, but I'll help.
No, that totally works. So Gianna takes him aside. Gianna, you are going to end up at 0 hunger. So go ahead and remove the bits all the way down because you don't really care if you kill this guy. And then you guys start working on the car. Tell me, what are you doing to the car exactly?
Just making it just shifting the colors a little bit, like keeping the general taxi pattern. It needs to be like, oh, that's definitely a taxi, but no one can place what company this is. It no longer is any specific taxi company, so that we can just pick people up and not be accountable to any taxi company.
Okay. So the cab itself, it has, so the name on the side is, we'll call it, because I don't think we actually have a name for it, so we'll just call it LA Yellow Cab. There. Simple enough. I was trying to come up with something clever, but I realized it doesn't actually need to be clever because it's a cab company. So it just is LA Yellow Cab Company. And the car is number 54.
Yeah, so now it's like I change it to some other number just so that no one who knows this thing recognizes it. I get rid of the LA Yellow Cab and I just switch it to Yellow Cab. And will just shift around any remarkable details, any like personalized details inside that mark it as specifically this driver's one. I take all that stuff and throw it away. I think I might even purposely make it look kind of like a cheaper one. Like I want, you know how con people with those emails specifically spell things wrong to push away intelligent people?
Yeah.
That's what I'm going to do with this car, is I only want people who would take a crappy cab.
Okay.
I want it to look cheap so that we don't have any clever people or well-off people getting in this vehicle.
Or not
specifically. Yes. I only want people who either are so poor that no one will go looking for them, or so drunk that people won't be surprised that they went missing.
We should paint cheap on the side of it. Like,
I might actually just say
cheap cab. I don't care how much money you got. Come on in.
You know, I might actually do that. It's the cheap cab. Yeah.
Cheap cab.
Okay. Excellent.
Cheap, safe. Cheap and safe.
Cheap and safe.
Cheap cab company.
Okay, so what I need to see is
totally not gonna kill you, cab.
Totally not gonna kidnap you, cab.
So let's go with, in this case, it's
Vampire's
gonna be
taxi company.
Oh my
Gonna
God.
drain you dry.
Cheap cab company. I like that.
Would that be Intelligence Craft?
Yes.
Okay.
Is there any way that I can aid in, like, I don't know how this works. It's not like D&D, right? You can't give advantage. There's no way I can like help.
Not really. I mean, there are ways you are helping. And
he only has one hand, so like
yeah, but this is also something that Isaac is
proficient at. Yeah.
He's very good at this particular thing. So
well, I'm okay. There, and then I get a +1 because of my specialty.
You know what, Throck, you and your
Holy
things,
crap!
you can just be quiet.
Oh.
Yeah, so that works. Hooray for hunger die. So you succeed just fine at making your Meals on Wheels.
Yes.
So you change the name on the side. You manage to like paint certain parts of the car, like one door part and like the hood, as being yellow, but like a slightly off yellow, so it's clear that they look like, making them look like they're parts that have been replaced.
Yes.
You correctly, like, you on one side it says cheap cab company, on the other side it says eep cab company. You sorry, eep cab company. You like in the back, you well, they wouldn't have had seatbelts, so yeah, it's fine. So
I do like just tear at the seats a little bit. You know, they look a little. Yeah, if you sit in the wrong spot, you can feel the spring poking into you.
So perfect.
I pee on the floor for a stain.
Well,
No, I don't.
You
I
can't
mean, you could, but
You-
it wouldn't be a urine stain.
It would
That's
be
the
blood.
thing.
That's why I'm not going to do it. Yeah.
So, yeah, you now have a
Sebastian.
cat.
Get in here.
No,
Have
I
the
don't.
night of your life
Da,
in there.
yes.
Go crazy.
What would you like, Master?
No, I'm joking. I don't do that.
Okay.
Here, pee on this.
Sebastian, actually, I do have a question for you.
Oh,
Do you know how to drive?
yes, I do know how to drive.
All right,
Not,
we
not very well, but I can make a car go.
can you make a car turn and stop?
Most of the time, yeah.
I'll drive.
Yeah, maybe. Okay, never mind. You are dismissed, Sebastian. Actually, Sebastian, can you go pick up a bunch of
Alcohol.
Yes, we're gonna need a lot of alcohol. Could you go and get some?
Oh,
We're setting up
well,
a
that
bar.
was on my my shopping list from Ivan. So I have been following up on those orders. We have quite a bit of alcohol already.
Perfect.
Would you like to
Good
see?
job.
No, I
Yes.
don't care. Oh, okay.
I care.
Okay.
Yes.
Oh, thank you very much. And Roxy, he actually seems like really happy that someone cares. He's like, "Yay, I've been noticed." He's like, "Well, please,
Notice me.
well, please, come with me, so I may show." And he'll take you into the lobby, and what he's got is literal like wooden fucking crates, and he cracks open one of them, and it's just vodka, and he says, "This one is my favorite, but that one there, that is whiskey, bourbon, rye," and he's got half the lobby is just full of these crates of liquor.
Perfect.
I want to go over to the whiskey crate. Is it like nailed shut still, or are they?
Yeah, it
Ready
is.
to
But like when you walk over to it, he like rushes a little bit, and he's got his crowbar, and he's like, "Please allow me," and he like opens it up for you.
I want to pull out a bottle. Does it look like it's a good quality?
It is mid to low. We're talking
Mid bulk.
It's like no. It's lower. So we're talking like Old Crow. If that's familiar for anyone. Yeah. It burns.
Pretend I know.
Acceptable.
It is
Not in a good way.
it's not. It's not at all, actually.
It's good after they're drunk. It's totally fine.
And it'll definitely get you there. Yeah.
Okay.
It's desperation in a bottle. Yes, Death. Absolutely that.
Y'all are so mean to whiskey.
No.
Oh, sorry, to whiskey.
Existing thing.
Whiskey. Yeah, he didn't get you whiskey. He got you whiskey.
Okay.
Oh, it's the misspell. Oh.
Was this whiskey stolen at all, Sebastian? Is anyone looking for this?
Uh,
I don't care if it was.
I'm not going to say no, but I also wouldn't say yes.
Okay, so we're going
I
to
did
hide
not
this.
steal it. The person who I purchased it from, I don't know if they stole it, but they give me good deal.
That's perfectly fine.
works.
We're just going to make sure that we keep the majority of this away from the public eye. Yes.
Da, yeah.
Just in case. I don't know if it could be traced. I don't know how this works.
Yes, no, I keep hidden, and he just like throws a tarp over it.
That's good. Are there, Sebastian, do you know where the homeless are in this city? Where they congregate?
Basically everywhere.
Good, they're all over the place.
Yeah, there are not that many at the moment. They have been
Dragged into war factories.
they have been largely put to use.
Ah, that makes sense. Then, are there a lot of party animals? People who waste their lives on things like this? Are there a lot of them?
Mostly everyone.
Good. That's perfect. Then something that I'd like for you to do is, if you could, you reach out with your contacts, find ones of these kinds of people, ones that are mostly alone, maybe no one will miss, and try to bring them here. We may get them pickled, and then we have a nice food source for Roxy.
I will do what I can, but I feel like you are overestimating my contacts.
That's fine. If you can't do it, no problem. Just seeing what's in your wheelhouse.
My wheelhouse is I can go and grab a thing and bring that thing back. I can fix plumbing. I can I can handle front desk registration.
During the day, yes.
And I can play chess. But
you can.
That is a very very famous game where I'm from.
Yeah, I've heard of it.
But as far as make friends, if I had friends, I probably would not have been here for you to find me in the first place. Not that I am complaining. I appreciate and love my new masters.
All right, understood. Then, do you know any areas where these people tend to congregate? Any specific clubs that are seedier, easier to get, lower security, maybe in bad parts of town?
Oh, you found Shitty Club. I know where those
Shitty
are.
Club. That is exactly what I'm looking for, so that we can start pinpointing correct food sources.
Can do. Yes, absolutely. Okay, so I'm going to I'm gonna pause this.
You don't
there.
have to come up with a bunch of shitty club names if you
No.
want.
No. I'm gonna actually pause this there because we actually have Ivan, and it'd be nice to get him in the game.
Yes.
So I'm gonna pause on you guys, sort of gray out the screen on all of you, although it already is, but whatever. And then let's go to Ivan. So Ivan, it's the top of the evening. The sun's just gone down. You're feeling light and fresh and airy and breezy. What you doing?
I'm going to the hospital.
Okay, you go to the hospital.
I have one of the things I've been working on is making sure that the three angels are on my shift and that I have gathered significant evidence of what they've been doing.
That is.
I plan to have conversations with them.
That is not hard to do. They weren't really hiding anything. They've been really just depending on the fact that no one gives a shit. This whole time. So just to sort of like reiterate for people, you work at a tuberculosis hospital.
People are dying all the time.
Yeah, when you were first hired in, you spent some time in the records room. You located a couple of people who are, we'll say, empathetic to the plight and suffering of the patients, and you plan on doing something that we're hopefully going to find out here shortly. So those three people, they've been, one is a doctor and two are nurses, I believe is what we determined.
Correct.
So they are, they haven't really been hiding, because from day to day, no one's really looking that closely. It's pretty evident when you look in the records, but they've been doing this for a while. Looks like the doctor was hired on about 3 years back. One of the nurses was hired 4 years ago. The other nurse is fairly new, and she's only been there for about 6 months.
Excellent. Let's see. I think I would meet with the nurses first. The oldest one.
Okay. So the oldest one, she comes into the room. She is in her mid-30s. She looks, very well done up. She's everything is exactly in its right place. Her uniform is, creased and pressed, and she is, she's got her hair in a very tight bun, and she has a sort of a severe facial expression. Like she always looks like she probably is smelling a fart somewhere. Like just sort of mildly upset at all times.
Ah, yes. Come in, please. Close the door.
Yes, of course, doctor. And she closes the door and comes in and takes a seat.
I am getting to know my staff. What is your name?
I am Laura.
Laura, lovely. I would like to discuss some paperwork with you.
Okay. Have you found fault with my paperwork? I assure you I have followed all of the appropriate protocol.
No, I have found no fault in it. It is very clear, in fact. It made this quite easy. And slides a couple of the very obvious cases across the table. Please, review if necessary.
She looks over the cases and her sort of sour face intensifies a bit. And she sets them down and says, I don't know what you're trying to insinuate here. In all of these cases, it was pretty clear exactly what happened. I followed protocol as I should have. They all passed. It's quite unfortunate, but it does happen.
You say it was unfortunate, was it?
What do you mean?
You say that it is unfortunate that they passed. I'm wondering if it is unfortunate or if it was necessary.
Well, I did everything, of course, that was necessary for their treatment. Give me... Go ahead and give me persuasion and manipulation.
Persuasion and manipulation.
Okay. Okay. And what's the next thing? Continue.
Perhaps there is a misunderstanding. I am not upset. I am curious.
What would you like to know?
Why?
Why? These people are in intense pain. Their lives are basically over. Most of them don't have anyone who comes to visit or who will care for their needs after they pass. They are a burden on the system, and they take up space that might be better used for people who are in greater need and have potentially more curable cases.
So you consider this a kindness?
To everyone.
Excellent. I would like to support you in this.
How so?
Well, Van, if I can find this, anyone can find this. So I help make it less obvious, less clear.
Okay.
And also, you are not the only one.
Yes, I know.
Good. I would like to work closely with all of you.
Well, then you should speak with Dr. Jones.
Excellent. Then if you would not mind getting the doctor for me, I will have a proposal for all of you shortly.
Yes. Fine. Thank you. One moment.
Thank you, Laura.
She gets up, leaves the room. At no point does she, like, drop her, highly professional demeanor. And about 3 minutes later, Dr. Jones comes in. He's tall, not very handsome. He's not like horrifyingly ugly, but he's not great looking. And he is a bit disheveled. He's got a pen and a thermometer in his pocket, in his chest pocket. But like you can see that he's got like some stains here and there. His tie is loosened and sloppy. His collar unbuttoned. And he comes in and sits down.
Doctor?
Yes, doctor. How can I help you?
I was reviewing cases, and I was particularly interested in these, and slides a second stack over.
Yes, Laura told me what it is that you're on about right now. What would you like to discuss? I stand by my efforts.
I do not disagree with them. I simply wish to know the method and your why.
Well, I mean, the method's quite simple. The simple injection doesn't take long. As for why, I think it's pretty clear. They're a drain on the system. Their lives are nothing but pain and suffering. They are capable of helping no one. Their passing eases the burden on everyone, including what few family members they may have, which in most of these cases is none, really. They're unwanted in nearly every respect.
So do you consider this kindness you are doing?
I consider it... kindness is one way to look at it. I consider it to be a means to a much more effective end. The people who we release in this way, they take up valuable space that could be used for people who are in greater need. It is kind to the rest. Sometimes you have to sever or remove an infected limb in order to save the rest of the body.
I agree with your methods. Very good. I have a proposal for you. As I was saying to Laura, if I can find this, anyone can. I can make this much harder to track, in case someone ever were. And I wish to sponsor these activities. I believe we can do even greater things.
Greater things?
Yes, if it works on this scale, it could work on greater scales.
I'm not sure I follow.
You would stand up and pace a little bit. Imagine, there is an entire city out there that is sick in many, many ways. We have the ability, with our new outreach program, to effect change on a large scale.
I see.
We can cleanse a deep, deep infection within the cities.
I'm going to need another manipulation and persuasion. Or persuasion and manipulation, the way Roll20 wants it. Okay. Okay. I think I see where you're going with us. For now, I'm in.
For now, you say?
I always reserve the option to change my mind. I am cautious in that way.
It is wise.
What do you need from us?
That part I will get with you on. First, I must draft the plans, and then I will go over them with you.
Excellent. Oh, Ginny.
Yes.
Don't mention this to her. The new girl.
No?
She empathizes. She understands to some degree, but she is not aware of her role in this so far. It was becoming too noticeable for Laura to be the one to always carry this out. The new girl does whatever Laura asks unquestioningly. She believes she is following protocol.
Excellent. She will be most useful then.
Yes.
Well, I wish to speak to her in a few minutes. I must make some brief preparations. But I will not mention our plans.
Excellent. If you need me, I'll be making my rounds.
Thank you, Doctor.
Thank you. And he gets up and heads out the door.
All right, while he is out of the room, so being a modern doctor's facility, there is, of course, a small mini bar off to the side in a doctor's office because this is the 40s.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Let's see.
You have
he
your
needs
morning drink, your 6
wine.
afternoon drinks. Sorry. You said...
Pre-operation drink.
You said grabbing
Exactly.
wine?
Red wine, yes.
Okay.
And he's going to pour a glass of it and bleed into it a little.
Okay. Done and done.
And then we'll wait. Pours another glass that's less full, and it looks like he's been drinking out of it.
Okay. You didn't actually ask for him to get Jenny, but you do have a secretary.
Yes, I'll get his secretary to summon her.
Okay. So Jenny comes in. She is young. Couldn't be much older than, say, 22. She is short, red hair, freckles, bright green eyes, and she is pretty, but also she has that air of someone who is very innocent.
Ginny, please, close the door. Have a seat.
Yes, of course. Thank you, Doctor.
How are your rounds?
Oh, they're fine. There's so many people. I wish I could help them all, but they're going okay.
This is good. Please, have a drink with me. I'm getting to know my workers, the staff.
Thank you so much. I don't really drink, though. Is that okay?
I would prefer if you would perhaps make an exception in this case. It is a kindness.
Oh, well, I wouldn't want to offend, of course. And she'll take the wine glass offered to her.
I wish to discuss your work. I have been reviewing your cases, and it is excellent. Your empathy is admirable.
Oh, thank you so much. I really do try. I'm so happy to know that it comes through in my work.
It most certainly does. I am I wish to know, are there any patients that could use more assistance that you are aware of?
Oh, so many of them. Old man Crockett, he's been here for a while now, but he's basically just a vegetable. I don't really know what to do for him. I wish I could help him. Then there's the twins and so many others.
It is a burden to have the ability to help and not always the means.
Well, and my mother, she warned me that, it would be like this sometimes, but, I carry forth, I soldier on. It comes with the job.
Well, I am proud of you and the work you are doing.
Oh,
Look forward
thank
to
you.
getting to know you better.
Well, Doctor, and she blushes, and sort of becomes nonverbal for a moment, and she takes a sip of the drink, and then sort of has a half moment of pause, and then she drinks the rest of it in one go. Says, "Oh, I'm so sorry. I don't know what came over me. I don't drink very often. That just goes right to the head."
Yes, it's a very good vintage. It is one of my favorites from back home.
Oh, well, thank you so much for sharing that with me. It's an honor.
Now, for now, thank you very much. I will be seeing you soon, I am sure.
Oh, of course. Anytime. Anything you need, Doctor. Thank you very much. And she's beat red in the face right now. And she gets up and on her way to the door, she's a little bit wobbly even. But she makes it out the door just fine.
Excellent. Right then. Ivan is going to begin drafting a disaster response plan for if there was a tuberculosis outbreak.
Okay.
And see all the ways that it can be stopped.
Excellent. Okay, that totally works. Why don't we actually write up the details of that in downtime?
Yeah.
Okay.
And then, he'll be doing that for a while, and then he will, like I said, wrap up early and head home.
Sounds great. Everything goes smoothly. The hospital largely runs itself. Your job is more to handle, if there were something particularly disastrous to occur or some sort of an emergency. But they know how to reach you if they, need you for something specific. You're there for about half the shift, but everything seems like it's going calmly, and it's not at all unusual for sort of the head doctor on shift to leave if everything is fully staffed and looking quiet. So you head home. Are you also stealing a cab, or are we good there?
No, not going to steal a cab.
Okay.
No need.
So you make your way home, and you
way to get home.
Well, that's what I'm saying. So you make your way home, and you find a sort of an odd kind of not great looking cab in the driveway, and in your lobby, there's a giant pile of something tall and square covered by a tarp. And the rest of the group is hanging out in the lobby, chatting with Sebastian.
Good evening.
Oh, you're home good.
What did I miss?
Quite a lot. We went
Do I
to
notice that they're missing hands?
There are missing hands.
Specifically their left hands, I think.
Yes.
think so.
They're
hands of-
non-dominant hands.
Roxy and Isaac.
Yeah.
Of only Roxy and Isaac.
What happened?
Well, that was actually something that I wanted to discuss with everyone. Sebastian. Is Sebastian there?
Oh, yes. Sorry, I was just dreaming of my crate. How may I help?
Okay, Sebastian, you are a gem. Is the basement open and finished for us to head down there?
The basement, well, it is open. It is not quite finished. They have not yet put in quite all the cement. So the floor is, parts of it are dirt still, as are the walls. But it is supported and stable. But
That's well enough. Thank you.
Okay. Yes.
Then could you please the lobby has windows, right?
Sorry. Ben will tell you. Zed will tell you that the lobby is mostly windows. Actually.
Gotcha. Would everyone please follow me out to the woods? We're going to go a bit far out of eye contact from anyone that could possibly be passing by. If you all would, there's some things I'd like to discuss and some things I'd like to show everyone.
Briefly, what is in the crates?
Yes, is all the liquor you asked for, and then some. Got a great deal.
Very good, Sebastian. Take 2 bottles to the room, and I will furnish those later.
Absolutely, sir. 2 bottles of what?
What do you have?
Everything.
Vodka.
Done.
Also, Sebastian, the food that we have hanging before us, are they being nourished?
But they're
Yes,
starting to. They're starting to smell a little.
Ah.
Have they gone bad? Have they died?
No, they have
No,
not.
they will have not died.
They're probably shitting themselves. What we need is buckets, Sebastian. We also need water and food for them. We need to keep our stock alive.
Sebastian will look at Ivan after being given these instructions. Like he's like, yeah.
I will attend to that shortly.
Okay.
Excellent. Do you need me further?
No, not for now.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Oh, Sebastian.
Oh, yes.
Thank you. And slits open his wrist for Sebastian.
Oh, yes, sir. Thank you, sir. And he gets on his knees and starts lapping at your wrist hungrily. No. Yes.
And that's number 3.
What does that mean? That's number 3. I don't know what that means, so I don't know what that means.
Yeah. He upon taking his 3rd drink, he grows like a hump, like a hunchback. He starts like kind of throwing himself around when he walks.
One of his eyes gets real big.
Yeah, exactly. No.
Goodness, no.
All right, so that's that then. So behind the motel, there's not like, you wouldn't call them woods, strictly speaking.
I thought we were on the desert or something.
Right. So like there's scrub. There's like shrubby scrub. And there are
A cactus or 2.
Yeah, it's
Then
it's
can we
largely deserted. There's really no one around.
Okay. That's the only. Then if we could just go behind the motel, behind like the solid brick wall of the motel, where if someone were to drive by the street, they're not going to see a bunch of weird ass fucking vampires in the window. You know what I'm saying? Just out of sight.
Yeah.
Okay. So do you all follow me out there?
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Yeah.
Now then, Ivan and everyone else. I am just as curious as to the exact details of what happened. I know only half of the story. I believe Isaac and Roxy You two were there when the doorman died. Can you please explain to me what happened?
I saw that you were not getting anywhere.
Mm-hmm.
So I went and followed one of the people that had noticed you.
Mm-hmm.
Someone
had noticed us.
Yes. I walked up to the door.
Continue.
It was a screen door and there was a man behind it.
Okay.
I opened the door up and began to distract him and made room for Roxy to sneak past him and go inside.
All right.
Which I did.
I don't know what happened then, but when Roxy came back, she struck him on the back of the head and failed to knock him out, so I kept him quiet.
You kept him quiet how?
Killed him.
How?
I kicked him.
Okay. All right. Roxy, why did you hit that man in the back of the head? What happened?
Well, I went into the building and I looked around. There was a lot of people in there, and it wouldn't have been in our best interest, or my best interest, to do anything or continue searching around in there. So I wanted to get out, and I wanted to get out quietly without killing anybody. So I tried to just knock him unconscious, but that didn't go as planned.
You were able to hide your entire body before. Why didn't you just?
It was in the way, and I didn't know
want to risk it.
She was there.
You didn't
There's no
want
way
to risk
to move
him
him again.
Okay. So first of all, why didn't this man die when you struck him?
I didn't want to kill him.
You
That
didn't.
was not the goal. No.
Okay. Then if you didn't want to kill him and you struck him and he didn't become unconscious, Isaac, why did you kill him? Why didn't you just strike him unconscious?
He saw our face.
Well, he's going to know your face whether she struck him unconscious or not. He doesn't know who you are. He only sees your
But
face.
he didn't know that I did anything. Once she attacked from behind, he knew what was going on.
Right. So then you saw fit to kill him. Did anyone hear it?
I don't believe so. But
Then why did people know you were there?
I
You were
actually
told that you were
don't
being
know.
chased through the city. Did that happen?
yes.
Okay. All right.
Eddie,
Yes.
I
Pause.
see a perfectly valid reason for why they would kill their faces. You want to make sure that they don't spread the information. They didn't know that he might be checked on so quickly and then be chased. I don't disagree with. Unfortunately, what we realized, Eddie and I, as we were meeting with Ming Zhao, she is the queen of Chinatown.
Yes, apparently there is a queen of Chinatown.
Who did she ally with?
No one. Apparently, she hates the Camarilla.
Yes.
That she says.
Such as she says.
She could easily be Camarilla trying to draw us in to kill our other allies. Speaking of which, we should never mention the right hand ever.
I agree. But we acted as if we were on our own.
Yes.
We didn't claim to be on one side or the other, though unfortunately, Eddie, I think you mentioning the word K-knife might have given us away, but I'm hoping not.
Possibly. She seems
Right.
pretty sharp. I am going to assume that she does now know who we are and what we're here for.
Or at least she knows who we are. She may not know our intentions.
I mean,
Back up a moment.
Yes.
What?
We were trying to get Eddie a meal. An
I
actual.
went to Chinatown.
Yes.
Mr.
Betty
Fish
the
told
Fish
us.
dropped in to say hello after you left. And in asking where we might procure something, he said that Chinatown was a good place to go.
And you went to Chinatown, and there was a doorman.
In a back alley?
Yes.
Eddie and I were walking around the market trying to, unsuccessfully, honestly, though we got what we intended in the end, trying to unsuccessfully, we thought he market. Benny's not very
Helpful.
Let's
detail-oriented.
No, he said he
explain
does not care if we live or die. There's
outcome.
large difference.
True.
One member of her organization died, a mortal. And she has forgiven us for this transgression and is now a contact of ours. She is dangerous, surely, but currently not against us.
She only forgave us for the
Both of you.
transgression in, well, in an
How?
agreement. In an agreement we made with her to take the left hand of each of those responsible for the death of her doorman, and then I was to eat the hands, which I did gladly.
Serves a purpose.
Exactly. I was able to get fed. I was no longer hungry. I feel good. I have hands in my stomach. Things are good.
What I find interesting is that she already had a meal prepared.
It was the doorman.
Now, yes, when we first arrived,
Yes,
Did
how
you
quickly
cook
she was
her?
able to cook that doorman. I am genuinely impressed. I mean,
And
they had to cut
in
him
the
up.
style of the Chinese food.
Yeah, it's very good. It was actually pretty good. Either way, I didn't bring you back here to scold you. You do what you have to do in the field, and things go sideways all the time. Things will continue to go sideways. So there's no way to plan for everything. The things that struck me as worrisome. A, you two didn't know what the other was doing. There was a lack of communication as to what the plan actually was. B, Roxy, if you are you strong? Are you able to knock a human out with your bare hands?
Yeah, probably. I don't know. I don't know what happened, you know?
Okay. There are
yeah.
ways to knock people out more efficiently. You could have perhaps choked him out, but if he is too large, then you need to have Isaac really initiate. What you could have done was distracted him, and then Isaac could have choked him out. You could have, did he have a weapon in his hand?
Yes.
You could have used all of your strength to hold on to the weapon while Isaac chokes him out. There would have been a bit of noise, but not as much as whacking someone in the back of the head, and I assume he yelled. And then
Didn't have much time.
Well,
Yeah, he didn't. It was a weird situation. I don't know. They were on our
He
heels
was
the
in a
entire
hallway
time.
or
Hey.
something, and when he fell, he apparently made enough noise.
that's fine. Here's my concern, and here's why I bring you all out here. If we're going to do things like this, we are in a very dangerous city. This fucking city is as dangerous as any war zone I've ever been in. It is a terrible place. Apparently, there's a queen of Chinatown. What else do we not know? What else is Benny the Fish not telling us? We need to go into every situation expecting the worst. I thought the Camarilla and the Anarchs were going to be the only issue here, but God knows what else is living in the dregs of this city. So here's what I bring everyone out here for. A, I want to know what you can do. B, I want to know what you cannot do. And C, I want to know what we can improve upon for you. For example, Roxy, you are quiet. You have excellent infiltration capabilities and the ability to hide in a crowd. You would be an excellent recon scout. But that's going to mean that you're going to be in dangerous situations like that. Isaac, you're perfect backup for a situation like that. You seem strong and capable enough. But we need to have you two be able to communicate better. We also need to have Roxy, you need to be better with your hands in the event that someone comes after you like that, or a melee weapon, or I'm not going to say guns. They seem to be a little harder to find, but things of that nature. Ways to bring people down quieter.
And
Roxy.
plus, guns make a lot of noise.
Guns do make a lot of noise, and I don't think silencers exist yet. I know that's a little meta to say, but I don't think they exist yet.
Also, silencers don't actually silence the way people think they do.
No,
No.
no.
It's
No.
like, it's still quite loud.
Roxy, would you be
Yes.
interested in maybe learning my language?
Your language, like
Español.
sure. Do you think that would help?
It's not foolproof, but it would get around a lot of situations.
Sure.
Especially just key words. You know what I mean? If you're going to bring someone down
Do-
quietly, find a way
Do
to
many
communicate to each other.
people know your language?
Yes, but
Okay.
it would help.
Okay.
It might actually be more helpful for us to learn some other language.
Yeah, something we can say to each other that not
I
anyone
look
else really
to
know.
to our priest.
Because I was going to say there seems to be some Italians running around the city. Otherwise, I would propose my own.
Do you think Latin would work?
In Latin.
Latin, again, not the whole language, but certain
If
phrases.
we're looking at keywords, I think that could.
For example, if we're in a situation that needs to go south, Gianna, you and I were in that basement. While in that basement, if you said, Eddie, kill the man, to kill the nearest man to you, or Eddie, kill the man nearest to me, they would have been tipped off, obviously. But if you in a situation said whatever the word in Latin is for kill, and then I start to kill, now, would we have both died in that basement? I guarantee we would have. But still, I follow your orders if you give them. But if we give them orders that they can understand, they're going to have a split second to react, and that can make all the difference.
I like this plan. I think it would be helpful in the future. We are still coming together as a pact. Or a pack. I expect us to have some blocks that occur, but we learn from them. And I think that this is a perfect opportunity to do so. I want to express very clearly, though.
Yeah.
This was something to appease.
You froze again. I want to express very clearly, though.
Freeze. That was perfect.
Oh.
It's okay. She was doing fine for a lot longer. All right, go.
Go. Express very clearly.
That neither of you were in the wrong. We only did this to appease Ming Zhao. And I hope you can understand that. That in the moment we had to address what was happening.
Again, I agree. But that being said, there are ways that it could have been done better. And I'd like to help teach you, if I can, any ways that I know to help situations like that. For an example, if you were taking someone down stealthily, like I said, choking them out, or Isaac, if you are in front of them, simply punching them in the throat as hard as you can, which is what leads me to my next question. Who of us are good in melee situations? Close hand combat, whatever.
I'm okay.
A tiny bit.
Okay.
Only enough.
All right. If any of you wish to learn tactics or ways to fight, I myself am not incredibly strong, but I know how to fight. And that can make a very big difference. Isaac, you said you killed him in one blow by kicking him?
Yes.
I assume you're very strong.
Yes.
Punch the ground as hard as you can.
I
want to see what happens to it.
Yeah.
Is it like anime? Like, will it like I don't know how vampires work.
Wait. Do not do it on the asphalt. Do it over there, please.
Oh, wait. Let's go to these.
There aren't a lot of trees. That was going to be my original plan, was to punch a tree.
We're in our construction zone. I grab one of the spare pieces of rebar, put my foot up against the bottom of it, grab the top of it with my right arm, and bend it.
Yeah, I won't make you make a roll for that. That's fine.
Now that's impressive.
Hold on. Gianna goes and grabs a rebar as well. I only have potence 1, so I can't bend it as far.
You have potence?
The Sombra do, yeah.
All right.
So I start bending it. I can't bend it quite as far. I can get stronger, but I'm not there yet.
Interesting.
Throws the rebar off.
Interesting.
Well, I have potence 3, so I want to try to do it.
Wait, you have potence 3?
Potence 3? Okay, do it. Do it. You sneaky minx, do it. So I guess you also just bend the shit out of the rebar.
How about you straighten out the one that I bent?
Yeah, I want to do that.
Ivan?
This is not my bailiwick. I am not incredibly strong.
That's fine. Then we know where you lack and what situations not to put you in.
ZX?
Yo.
Zed? I am looking around to ensure that there are no mortals in the immediate area.
There are no mortals in the immediate area, except for Sebastian on the other side of a wall.
Yeah, well, Sebastian's fine. I drop Shroud of Night.
Okay.
Centered on us.
Everyone is suddenly blinded. You all feel incredibly cold as you are surrounded in an inky, roiling blackness. You can see not only nothing, but almost less than nothing. It's like putting on a sleep mask made of smoke and oil.
So
I'm doing my rouse check for it.
This isn't just darkness. This is advanced darkness.
Yes.
Can I?
And-
While
Yes.
I'm sorry. Yeah, go ahead.
Go.
I was gonna say, as soon as this hits, seeing that it's one of their powers, can I immediately try to use my awareness to try to smell or feel or get a sense of anything around me, or does it penetrate even that?
So you attempt to use your awareness, and you realize that you cannot smell anything. It smells
Interesting.
like it smells
Ooh.
like nothing. You
This is good.
can't feel anything except for sort of a cold, almost mist sensation.
What about the ground under me? If I dig my hands against the ground,
So if you drop to the ground, you can feel the ground. The ground is there, and it feels mostly normal. But again, still very cold, sort of misty.
almost impossible to really get your bearings in this situation.
Not almost, but yes,
So you can't even
That's
see
right.
yourself or anything.
correct.
Yeah,
Like
if
if
I
you put
hold
your
my
hand in
hands
front
out.
of your face,
That's
you can't see
awesome.
shit.
Ooh.
Can I hear anything?
No, you get the sensation that if something were loud enough, you might be able to hear it a bit, but like right now,
It muffles.
you can't hear anything.
This is excellent, terrifying, and excellent.
And then she froze when I think what she
There
was
forever.
doing was.
I think she was trying to get rid of it.
Yeah,
Maybe?
I think she was canceling it. Are you
Were you
canceling the
dismissing
effect?
it, Jim?
Oh, my
And then
God.
she froze it. Why does it keep doing the double? Anyway, all right. You're back again.
Okay, so I drop the shroud, but I immediately want to shadow play, have it start moving around in a circle around my feet, as if making a vortex under my feet.
The shadow play, I'm sorry, takes what form before the circle?
It starts twisting around. So I use my
Okay.
own shadow
Okay.
and twist it around to form a vortex under.
Okay, so
What does that do?
suddenly all of you can see again, but then like her personal shadow, which is fairly sizable given the darkness around you right now, begins to move of its own accord, circling and circling and circling her around her feet,
That's a good distraction.
increasing speed.
Can you send it
So-
against that wall?
Bam. And there's a silhouette of me against the wall.
Can you manipulate someone else's shadow?
No.
I'm trying to think of every tactical way to do this.
No, it is only my own shadow.
Still very useful.
Eventually, there are other elements that I can control, but it takes time.
Shadows.
I want to interrupt this. I think we have an understanding of each other enough. And I pull out from my back pocket what appears to be a Bible and hand it to Gianna.
What is this?
A book.
She'll start to open it and look at you like as if for permission.
Mhm. It's it's the lettering of the Bible is very, very small, and so written over it, just ignoring the fact that there is words previously on there, is written in some dark, thick lines, are names, and then after the name, a thing that has been done, usually something bad, and that each of those has been crossed out. This was given to me from the last member of my previous pack. It is a book of sin. In it, we right every wrong that is done to us and pay it in kind. That
Interesting.
the insults against us, which are insults to Cain, should not be unanswered.
This would help me keep my promise to all of you. I like this. Might we use it for our pack then?
It was my intention.
Is that all right with the rest of you?
So, if I'm to understand this, all those who oppose us, or those who what is this? If you're attacked, their name goes in here.
If they commit a crime against us,
Well, that's
That
perfectly
is-
reasonable.
up to the ductus and the priest to determine what a crime is and what the appropriate payment should be. If they will do us a favor, we may forgive them. If they refuse to help us, then maybe we take blood.
I was attacked by someone named Big Tony.
We put his name
Sounds like
in.
an entry.
Shall that name be the first one in here? All
I
right.
think we can do that.
And we already know where he resides, so that could be.
Do we?
We do. Mr. Big Fish, Benny the Fish, whatever his
Benny
name.
the fish,
Benny the
yes.
Fish, yes. Came here before giving us some information. I believe that you were at work. He's where we heard about Chinatown. He's also where we heard about where Big Tony likes to stay. He's at a particular nightclub.
Speaking of where I like to work,
Yes.
the motel is a good place. It is a suitable haven. I am preparing the hospital as a backup for us.
Not a bad
What
idea.
is the name of the hospital again?
I think it had like a funny abbreviation, didn't it?
I know it has like an actual name. Hold on.
Because it's a real place.
Was it like Saint something? Tuberculosis Hospital.
Da.
I like letting you guys actually use your notes. So
I put it in a chat a while ago.
names of things, by the way, are things that should be kept in that communal note sheet you guys have.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're working on it
Yeah, I know.
actively.
Anyway, for the purposes of keeping this moving right now, you can find the name later.
Yes, it is blah hospital.
Mhm.
It is a tuberculosis facility. It is easy to hide among the infirm and the unnoticed there. I also have an idea that we could perhaps use that infection to our benefit.
Tuberculosis?
Oh, yes. It's very contagious.
But we can't get sick.
You cannot.
Well, then how are we going to kill the Camarilla with it?
Creating an outbreak.
Hmm.
And
Make
that
them
would
waste their
paralyze
resources.
them.
Ooh.
Can
Exactly.
we spread it?
We should be able to. If we drink from that blood, we
Medi-
would become carriers.
Medicine and intelligence.
Oh, sorry.
Then you can know or not know for sure.
If not, there was an ancient a medieval tactic where they would launch body parts into other cities, causing mass sickness. They could always drop body parts from planes.
Genghis Khan. Yep.
Yes. Severed heads and the like.
So you know that vampires. So if you feed from someone who is sick and don't wait an appropriate amount of time before feeding from someone else, you absolutely can spread the disease. Yes.
What if we are a bit more efficient with it? Maybe
A water supply.
either the water or
It does not pass through water. It is airborne, which is
then
far more virulent.
A crop dusting plane.
You are
Zed is fucking loving it. I love how we're breaking the storytelling.
Let me slow down a little bit.
I just love the idea. Hang on. The Zoot Suits riot, or the Zoot Suit riots never actually happened because everyone in LA is dead.
They're just really sick.
All right, continue. Sorry.
Let's back off from that slightly and a little bit more of a reasonable plan.
Okay.
We target certain areas of the population in different areas. I am drawing up plans now with doctors on how to best fight an outbreak. We take that, and then we find out all the places it can be stopped and interfere with those. So
Not a
that
bad plan.
outbreak
I like this.
will be more unchecked.
It would probably be best to do it in an area where lots of people congregate. People seem to enjoy being outside, but it would be better to do it in an indoor environment, like a show
Movie
kind.
studio.
Nightclubs, bars,
Or the nightclubs where there's lots of people.
especially where sailors are. Sailors
Yeah.
are on ship.
Ooh.
Would we know about any sports stadiums of any kind existing in LA at this time?
LA has never been much of a sports town.
Just as well, if we could control at least a small portion of some of the prostitutes in the area, infect them, and then have them go out with the sailors, infecting the sailors as well. We might be able to use that to our advantage at first to do it slowly before we hit it with a large burst.
My suggestion would be
Mhm.
we find ghouls first. Create some ghouls that we can use to work with this. That will make them more hardy and make them less looking like infection.
Smart.
Secondly, we release our guinea pigs into strategic locations. We can also inject live viruses instead of dead vaccines into certain parts of the population. And we spread in a wise area. And the best thing to do would be to lay this at the feet of the Camarilla as well. That would draw the anarchs against them and anyone else with power and ability.
So we need to ask maybe our new friend, who seems to hate the Camarilla, and to poke the bear.
I don't know if we want to involve her in this particular plan.
Oh, no. Give her the details. We just ask for the where.
Someone give me a I don't know what I would even call that. Intelligence and oh my god, I don't want to die.
Survival.
I got it.
Yeah, just roll intelligence,
no.
and I just need one success from anyone. Okay, sure. Well, okay, it has to be someone other than Ivan because he wasn't there. He hasn't met Ming. Sorry.
Oh,
So what we were saying, I don't
Just
have any
intelligence?
talks of survival,
No,
but
just
sure.
make an intelligence. roll.
intelligence.
Just straight intelligence.
One.
Okay.
there you go.
Great. Ming Zhao seems like the sort of person, based on all of the things she said, she clearly cares very deeply for her domain. And not informing her of this plan and potentially involving her in keeping it out of her domain would be something that you think she would probably look pretty unfavorably towards.
Something I suggest for Madame Zhao is she knows, let's assume that she knows that we're here to make plays in the city. Now, that doesn't mean that we're going to tell her that that's what we're doing here, but we should make mild plays in the city, essentially distractions. Don't make them directly linked to us. Don't make them anything big enough for anybody to really shake a stick at, but things that would disturb the Camarilla and give her a slight chuckle. And I think
Well,
I
you
have
said that she doesn't like the Camarilla, and she seems really powerful and influential. Why can't we
Right,
tell
but
her?
if we were to do something like this, get information from her, and it potentially comes back into her domain in Chinatown,
we're dead.
we're
Why don't-
dead.
That's what I mean. Why don't we tell her so that she can set up a perimeter around her area to keep infected individuals out?
I don't think there's any way that she's going to be able to stop tuberculosis from spreading into Chinatown. Those people just kept their food out on tables.
I don't know. Her people seem to know every single turn we took. We were way ahead of them at one point, and they caught right
So-
back up to us.
It's true.
So I think we need to build this
Perhaps
plan
instead of
in a
running in
longer.
circles, you could listen a little bit longer.
And I think if we build this plan over a longer period of time, not too long, but if we actually, as we've been saying, plan a little bit and then present it as a proposal, something that maybe we work with her
It is a simple
involve
matter of-
her.
Yeah, it
We
seems like she doesn't
inoculate
like
her
us.
population. It's a simple solution.
And that way, she knows from the beginning that it will not damage her.
Is there an
Another
inoculation for
plan.
tuberculosis?
Absolutely, there are simple treatments.
Oh,
Does
I know,
anyone
with a
know if
little
the
bit of-
Camarilla knows about her? Because we could pin it on her. Her people would be immune.
Ooh, we would want to be careful if we were to do something like that.
that's pretty clever, though.
But it is, again, we would want to plan that very carefully and be in a better position than we are now to do something on that level.
We are
But
gonna,
I like the idea.
we are
But
going to
a
have to
war
face.
between her and the Camarilla would leave both of them weak enough to strike down.
Yes, and we do have to deal with the fact that we are going to have to remove Madame Zhao from the board at some point because she will remove us.
Someday, yes.
Yes, she will most likely use us and then eliminate us because that's the smarter
Absolutely.
play. She doesn't know
It's a
us.
smart
She
play.
now believes that she has some form of control because she does. And then
So as we build power, we plan the same against her.
precisely, it's just a matter of whose plan is better and who acts first on it.
Or we don't.
How do you mean?
And truly make her a partner?
Fighting a war on two fronts ends poorly. If you are,
This is true.
as we see playing out currently,
Yes.
creating actual allies, it is fine to keep them as actual allies for a longer period of time until, I mean, you think about this. The Camarilla, for all its rots and decadence, has not routed her out. Why is that? We need to answer that question before we decide to attempt the same.
Wait, why the Camarilla has not what?
Removed her.
Removed her.
Well, that's kind of what I'm talking about. So let's say we bring down the Camarilla with her aid, right? We will never bring down the Camarilla with her aid because she would eliminate us right before the Camarilla is brought down entirely.
Why?
Because she would know that we're a threat afterwards. So why
Unless
not?
we truly, honestly make a partnership with her.
How
we
can you-
have
It
that
is something
power.
we should consider.
We cannot make a pact with her that binds the rest of the Sabbat. A bishop would be required to
Nor
have
would
any
she-
true say in that
Nor
deal.
would she do that. This is a woman who already has control. She would not give it up for us. Why would she? It makes no sense. So she
No,
Camarilla with five random. Also, I don't think we should ever tell her that Ivan exists.
good
This is
point.
a good
Yeah, that's very.
Keep
Fair.
Ivan as far away from her as possible. She already knows us, which is bad enough. I already fucked up by saying canines. That's bad enough. As far as I'm concerned, she already has us all with nice little red X's waiting. But she doesn't know Ivan. She doesn't know he exists. Can she figure it out? Maybe. She could have us followed right now. I have no idea. But the idea is that
We need to build our power base. That is the problem we have right now. We have no power.
we also have no
We need to
information.
gain some. Exactly. We need power. We need information. We need influences. That is what
I will work on the Italians.
I hate cities.
Well, and this is where we were going to get in with Big Tony.
I will find him if I can. I will either be his bodyguard
Club he
or
goes
his
to.
replacement.
We already know what
know
club
what he
he
does.
goes to. We just make him ours.
Yeah. Kick down the door and drown him.
Cool enough, and
I
then
would
toss it out the
suggest-
door.
We have Sebastian. That is a good start. We need more
Yes.
mortals.
Yes.
We need guards. We need associates. We need influence here.
Are those dogs still here?
An entrenched enemy. We need to think more with more subterfuge. The blunt instrument get things done, but it is the sharp blade that penetrates deeply.
I have a question. Out of the blue. Are there prisons here?
Absolutely.
What if we take a prison? Think about it this way. We take a prison.
Go in.
Big walls, big fences, lights, guns,
No windows.
guards, no
Ivan.
windows. we have full control of the prison. Ivan could be a prison doctor. I can be a prison guard. We could take the warden, no problem.
Eddie.
Where he lives. Yes.
Have you ever heard of shovel heads?
Would I know of what a shovelhead is?
Given the job that you were previously doing, you would not only know of them, you've probably made a few.
Oh, they're like the like berserkers. They just
Shock
run
troops.
out like ravenous.
Yeah, you.
Yes.
So for the stream, for anyone who isn't aware, a shovelhead is a neat trick that the Sabbat have where they make a bunch of baby vampires rapid fire, whack them on the head, dump them in the ground, and then leave. In the time that it takes for them to crawl out of the ground and go crazy on everyone around them because they're all, in a hunger frenzy, the Sabbat who created them typically are somewhere else by that point. And now you have a bunch of berserking monsters who are breaking the masquerade and murdering and also very dangerous to take down.
Right. So we would have a nearly endless supply of people in order to experiment on that no one cares about. Society doesn't care about them and play with. And to ensure this, when we go there, they have records. We can see how many next of kin they have, how many visits they have, and really pick and choose. We can start small and start working our way up.
And when we're ready, we have the shovel heads distract the Camarilla.
Yes. Yes,
while we take down one of their delicious morsels.
So this is the out of character question. Okay, so this is the 1940s California, right, Zed?
Yep.
And Asian concentration camps exist, right?
Not yet. In 43 they don't. If
I think you are
I
wrong.
thought
Hang
I'm
on.
really pretty
Quick.
sure.
To the Googles.
That's some dark shit, man.
But at the same time,
Welcome to the
it's so
40s. We're
true.
not the good guys.
We really aren't.
Yeah, we're not.
No, we're officially not the good guys.
Death by Maid said
Japanese
that.
concentration camps exist.
1942. Holy shit.
So they're-
Because it was shortly after Pearl Harbor, man.
They've been here for over a year.
Yeah, so for about a year, the internment camps are. Let me see here.
Sorry, internment.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I know.
Yeah. thanks.
We're America. We don't do anything wrong.
12. There are 12.
Totally justified.
Here's. This is great. 12 temporary detention centers. Because
There we
that's not a
go.
word we've all heard recently. Sorry for my politics
No.
invading the stream. I don't care. So the exclusion and incarceration of Japanese began in March 42. The War Relocation Authority, or WRA, was established to administer the camps. Trains and buses under military guard. Yep. Yeah, so there are 12 in California. I think it's totally
Are there
reasonable.
any near LA?
I don't have a map for that, but again, let me see what I can get. Location.
While you're looking at that, unless
I was gonna say that if we want to go with the prison idea, I can go in.
Only if we need
that could
it.
be dangerous.
As a prisoner,
I've been there a few
I
times.
have a thought. So, Mr. Zhao, she is Chinese. Yes,
Miss Madam Zhao.
Madam Zhao.
Yes, and yes, Chinese.
Question. Oh no, yeah, no, that's great. If we know our history, the Japanese and the Chinese are not friends. This could work out in our favor, where she gets to target a section of population that. Oh, Death! You saying it so nicely. Yes. But yes, Nanking.
Yeah, the sacking
that's
of
true.
Nanking is not.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Specifically,
let's just but you know what? Let's go with it.
Yeah, I'm fine with it.
Cool. But yes. Yes. And again, let's point it out there that this is all really goddamn horrible.
Yeah.
yeah,
but
no,
also
like the
real history, and let's
I am-
not shy away
my
from the
skin
terrible,
is
horrible things that
crawling
happened.
at this thought, like me, the person.
I was
Oh,
totally.
yeah,
I'm
same.
totally cool with you dissecting
Character.
people and taking people's faces off. This, I'm like, I feel bad.
Oh, dude, my skin is crawling. I hate that.
But also hundreds or thousands of like zombified prisoners.
Thousands.
Sounds awesome. Just running through the street. And everybody out.
Right. So, back into character. Madame Zhao would perhaps thoroughly assist us in handling this and giving us a large section of population to work with. I think that is definitely worth exploring.
I agree. The only hurdles that we're probably going to have to face is that those camps are most likely under guard by military and not state corrections officers.
Oh, goodness, yes. This will be a military
That's gonna be a
matter.
little bit
Military
to infiltrate.
military is easier to control because you only need one man to control them.
I mean, we only need the warden to control the prison as well.
Yes, but the police are less
What is the word?
indoctrinated and they question their orders more.
Also, I would assume that the prisons have been here for quite a while, the Camarilla most likely already have full control over them. But if these detained
It doesn't look like there's any in our area.
No,
Well,
there's not.
Okay.
Okay.
So
God.
kind of. So there are two that are in the greater area around you. There's the Manzanar camp, which is closer to Vegas than it is to you, and then there's the Poston camp, which is sort of on the border between California and Arizona.
Are any of them near train stations?
Well, they're
And
all
is
near
there-
train stations because that's how they got them there.
Does a train station run through LA?
Oh, God,
Yeah.
yes.
Yeah.
Well, I'm sorry, I'm not doing this in care. If let's say there's a detainment center, let's say we go to the detainment center, let's say everything goes off without a hitch and we're able to create 1,000 shovelheads. We put 1,000 shovelheads onto a train. How we herd that, it's like herding cats. I have no idea how we're going to do it. But let's say we get them all on there. They're sleeping like babies.
Oh
We
no,
can-
you bury him, darling.
In the train,
Their way out.
Ooh.
either
And
way.
who knows? Maybe the few that survive will actually be worthy enough.
Okay, so we put them on the train. We fill the train with dirt. We take the train. The train goes into LA. We just stop the train.
And let
walk
rip.
away.
And out they come from a train station, which is most likely going to be packed with people because train stations are often packed with people. Boom, the
I
shovelheads.
love the chaos of this.
The shovelheads start to feed. They start to spread. Let's maybe infect the shovelheads with tuberculosis. I don't know how we can. We can
That's easy enough
this
to do.
whole situation.
We can send them to LA with the excuse that the camp's crematorium has broken and that they had an outbreak of tuberculosis, so they need to send bodies to LA to be burned. We send coffins.
It's perfect, actually.
Yeah.
Stack them upon stack them.
Okay, so I just want to make sure that we're under. I'm going to summarize the plan and make sure that I'm getting what you're going for. So the plan is getting good at one of the internment camps.
Mm-hmm.
Turn a bunch of the inmates into vampires. It takes a day for someone to convert from one to the other. So during that day, you, after having already convinced them or perhaps actually physically breaking their incinerator, make it clear that they need to be taken somewhere else to be dealt with. You pack them onto shipping containers on a train or in train cars or whatever is the appropriate method of shipment for what are perceived to be corpses.
Yeah, it would be shipping containers.
You then
Big sliding doors.
hijack the train somehow, either by already controlling where it would go or taking control of where it would go mid trip. Drive it into the center of LA, or at least as close to the center of LA as you can get with the train tracks that run through it.
Detach the cars.
Detach the
engine
cars,
drive away.
let them sit, and then when sundown on that next day hits, several
Oh, hell.
hundred tuberculosis infected shovelheads burst forth from the train cars trying to eat anything in sight.
I feel like the tuberculosis is a question mark.
The tuberculosis.
I have a
doesn't
better
need to be-
idea for the
It's an
tuberculosis.
It's just an
tuberculosis-
excuse for the whole sending.
Yeah,
them.
tuberculosis is a separate thing. We're using it as an excuse.
Well, the
Yeah, just-
tuberculosis can be on one side of the city, and
Exactly.
the heads are on the other side. The tuberculosis is still probably the better plan, to be perfectly honest, and the more successful one.
Yeah.
But the shovel heads are a fucking cool plan, and I love it. Like,
I
so-
can make shovel heads really fast because I have brutal feed, so I can drain immortal in 3
Oh,
seconds.
plus I wanted
So
them
do
to
I.
be planless so that they couldn't know more about us than they already know.
I do think
Well, in order to make them, that's a different story. In order to make them, that's going to require a lot of blood, and if we're gonna want that much blood, what I was actually thinking is that if we could capture other vampires and drain them dry into the mouths of, isn't that how you create shovel heads? Am I wrong?
Why? No.
we
wait.
could just give them our own because we're regenerating as we drain them. So we'll
Yeah,
have
we're good.
blood
We'll
to.
be fine.
Okay, I see. This was an Evan mistake, not an anything. Okay, all right.
Okay.
I'm not totally sure how it works. Well then that's fine. That's all fine and dandy.
I do
So what we
like.
do is we can have a tuberculosis outbreak among the soldiers in that section. That will distract most of the police and the military.
The military, yes.
We need to find a way to dominate, ghoul, control a sufficiently high-ranking officer in the military that runs a camp,
Get me
perhaps
closer.
while they are on leave,
Ensure that they're not already infected by the Camarilla.
and if they are, replace them.
Easy as that.
I do think that our enemies would never suspect for us to take over LA by leaving LA.
But we aren't leaving LA.
No, just to the camp, which is a good
Oh.
distance away, out of their reach,
Yeah, we're not leaving
Unstrikeable
this city. This city.
while we are away.
Yeah, we can go a couple miles, whatever, but we're not leaving.
No,
Yeah.
we are.
We are getting the ammunition.
Yeah, so we're restocked.
War.
Well then, in the interim, if these are our plans, it's detention center, the tuberculosis, the train, the
Yes.
army, and the warden. These are the things we're most likely going to have to consider.
Correct.
Well, we might not even need a warden, but I think it would be helpful. But we have the hospital, and that's good enough.
Yes.
We can move to a prison if it's possible, but if not, the detention center works. Then
So, real fast, just to let you know, so Poston, I think, is probably the closer of them.
That's what I was figuring.
And it would
One
take
near Arizona?
Yeah, it would take you about. Well, it technically is in Arizona, but it's like just over the border. So it would take you about 4 hours and some change. Call it 5 hours.
So a couple of us would need to live there for a couple days.
Yeah.
That's also called the garbage truck.
Yes, that as well.
I hate it so much. But
Sebastian can drive it.
Okay. I was going to say Sebastian could drive it. We can get him better at driving.
So that we're not wasting time on a trip. We need to live there for a bit. We need to switch over the person in charge to our side, and then they can assign us make-believe jobs there.
all right, all the more reason to ensure that we have more ghouls to cover the hotel while we're gone, and
Yes.
ensure that people do not fucking look here. Because while we're
Yes.
not here, we can't clean up messes quickly. So we're going to need a couple of ghouls that are smart and capable, like Sebastian, but maybe smarter than Sebastian and more capable than Sebastian. And maybe even Ivan, you can make them all beautiful. That would work, but not too beautiful, because we don't want people going, remember that hotel that's out there where everyone's so beautiful? Because that's just weird. There's no reason to have extra attention here. Maybe make one of them really ugly. All right, then you don't need to make one of them really ugly if you're offended by that concept. But either way, we
They
need
can
more
be-
ghouls to what?
Correct. They can be corrected as needed. They are craft supplies.
All right, that's fine. We get enough people here to man this. I think that should be our first priority still.
Yes.
Because we still have nothing. We should still look into Big
Takeover
Tony.
of the hospital. I'm working on that. I am
hospital.
beginning one ghoul. I will have at least 2 more soon, or removal of obstacles. And then it's a simple matter of owning the administrator.
Excellent. Which I trust that you can do. If you need any of our assistance with that, please ask. That was the point of trying to learn what we're all good at.
Gianna,
Yeah,
I might require your assistance for that.
I think I can manage that.
Let me get you their information, and you can use your talents.
If we're all getting ghouls, where should we go?
Let's see, Isaac. We could perhaps have you ghouling the working staff at the hospital.
All right. Get me a job there.
It will be done. Roxy. Let me see. You could
Perhaps.
be a patient, perhaps, or...
Leprosy.
Yeah.
No offense.
But it's
Yeah.
We're a tuberculosis hospital.
Oh yeah, I forgot.
Perhaps she can sneak into the homes of doctors.
That
After
is a brilliant idea.
the ones that you can't get because they're not on the night shift.
And the ones
She
that you
can get
don't
the day
blow up.
shift ones.
Sorry.
Actually, I have 2 for you to start with. They are 2 angels that their outlook is suboptimal. They are a little too smart for their own good.
Oh, okay.
We have a Dr. Jones and a Laura. I will point them out to you. They need to either be ghouled or removed. Either way.
And to ghoul, a little bit of blood, right?
Yes, they need to drink the blood. They do not even have to be aware of it. I fed one in a glass of wine.
So you could
Doesn't
sneak it
take-
into the food.
It doesn't take much
Absolutely.
to make someone drink while they're sleeping.
Exactly.
That's probably how I'll do it.
Whatever works best for you.
And Eddie, where will you be?
Make ghouls. It's not something I'm as familiar with, but I would say any form of law enforcement or army, but I believe the Camarilla are already pretty entrenched in there. I don't know if I even want to start dabbling in that yet. It might give away our position too quickly.
What about those that are no longer in the military?
Veterans?
Veterans, the ones that were no longer useful to the war machines.
We could offer them security jobs.
There you go.
They do have experience. I can vet them, see what they're like, see if they're too unhealthy.
Or
Your blood will
vulnerable.
make them stronger, make them
Exactly.
useful again. If they're too old, we can fix that.
I can go to what were they, like hiring stations, like places where people go to try to get a job specifically. I can't
Also
remember.
the VA. Oh, wait, did the VA exist yet?
I don't think it did yet.
No, okay.
But they'd probably be in like job lines, like I'm waiting to get a job. You know what I mean? I know
Yeah.
that's what it was like after World War One.
Union offices.
Well, you had to get a work card. So
We could specifically hire even ones that maybe they lost an arm, maybe they lost a leg.
the
could
thing is, right now you're less likely to find like
Oh,
current.
VA was founded in 1930,
Oh shit!
Holy
Thank you,
shit.
Death.
All right.
All right, so
Thank you, Dad.
so there is the VA as an option.
Oh, well, after World War One, that makes sense, actually.
So
Yeah.
what I was going to say is you're not going to find a whole ton of World War II veterans here in America yet, because there weren't all that many yet. There are. Gianna has a point to make that she is frozen. Although I,
Just saying World War One.
yeah,
World
well,
War One.
and that's what I was getting at, is that you could find World War One veterans though, in some numbers.
So they would be our aged about.
Yeah, they would definitely be older. I mean, you'd be looking at like,
50.
Late 30s to 40s to 50s
Good. People wouldn't expect them.
to early 50s.
These look like old retired people working security jobs to make a little bit of extra money. That's fine. That's perfect. And I'm sure they would be thankful for increased vigor and health.
Yeah.
Especially if they're old war dogs. Yes, I think this is a good idea.
Those that survived the Great War are rather dangerous enough.
I know.
If we give them more tools, imagine how strong they could be.
And there may even be some contacts I can call to try to find more of them. I was in that war. I know that war.
Good.
Yes.
Hopefully you don't run into anyone you knew then.
If I do, I'll either eliminate them or cool them.
Ah, good point.
I have no love for my old brothers.
It sounds like we have a plan.
It does, and I'm very excited about this. I do not like how little we know about this city, however, and that's something that I hope that we can begin to fix. Fish is helpful, but not as helpful as I'd like. And we do have this... Yes?
I think the hospital will be our source of information.
The
All
hospital
time
and Big Tony.
Pass through it. Yes.
And Big Tony. I would like to make Big Tony one of our first stops pretty soon in order to eliminate him. If he knew where I would be when I was arriving in the city, Big Fish, Mr. Fish, Benny the Fish did say that Big Tony was one of his problems and his fault. So
Wait.
if he knows... Yes.
Were they targeting you or were they targeting Benny?
I'm unsure. I killed them too quickly. I wasn't sure if they were ghouls or vampires. When I staked the last one in the heart, he died. So I guess...
Well, that would be a vampire then.
Exactly. So they were ghouls,
Vampire.
but when I arrived at the Hollywood sign, Benny the Fish was still waiting and said, "Oh, that was my, that might have been me, might have been after me." And he mentioned again that Big Tony is after him for money that he doesn't intend to pay back.
Oh.
So I believe that this can,
So
but
Big
if it can be
Tony is a
traced,
big problem.
but if it can be traced to him, then it can be traced to us because we know him. He came here. Again, people can follow each other. For all I know, Madame Zhao knows exactly where we are. For all we know, the Camarilla know exactly where we are. And for all we know, Benny knows exactly where we are.
I wish to also point out we have one additional problem we have not accounted for.
He did say that he owes me a favor for eliminating
We can use that.
some of those people. I'd like to use it to know more about the city. The guy's closed tighter than a locked box. It's ridiculous.
Well, he doesn't want to seem biased. The whole point is to let one pack win or the other.
This whole competition
Which
is
brings up the point.
pants on
The
heads.
left hand does not know what the right hand is doing.
No, it
Account
doesn't.
for that.
Bonus XP. Someone finally said it.
Thank you.
All right. Then I think can we all agree Big Tony first, ghouls second, including hospital, including veterans, including doctors and such. I do like this hospital angle. And then we move on from there. See how the city evolves as we go.
Yes. We need to build our base of power. The idea of just going out there and causing havoc and tearing through the streets without any plan is foolishness.
Suicide.
Exactly.
And this city is more inhabited than I thought it was. So we're going to have to be more careful, much more vigilant. All right.
The camp in Arizona is in Poston, which is, or rather, it is called the Poston. Yeah, it's like right next to Poston, which is a very tiny town.
Small town?
Yeah, it's like right on the border between California and.
You want to
I don't
cash
like
in
that.
favor with Eddie.
What did you say?
Sorry. You want to cash in a favor with Benny. I have an idea.
I'm all ears.
Have him let's see, if he is so well connected, he can find the leader of this internment camp, and he can make sure that they are delivered 3 infusions of blood. That will take care of that problem. Or at least...
I don't know if his...
You can at least clear a way for us to make this happen.
Maybe set up a meeting with him or something? Or if he could just tell us where he sleeps, where he lives, just pure information.
Or set him up with a mistress.
Brilliant.
That's not a bad idea. More favorable, not a bad idea. All right. I don't know how far Benny's reach is. Benny the Fish did say that he has even only been in the city less than a lot of the other people have. Obviously the Camarilla and Madame Zhao and such. So I'm not sure how much pull he really does have if even a local mobster is giving him issues. But I can run it by him and see what he says.
Perfect.
Although I don't know where he is. I don't remember if he ever said where to find him. I think he just finds us.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so next time he decides to bless us with his presence, I'll ask him.
Okay. So you guys have been sitting here and chatting for a good little while. At this point, there's about like a solid 3 hours left. 3 hours? Hang on. Hang on. 7, 8, 9, 10, 12. Okay, so there's more like 2 hours left of solid nighttime.
Yeah, we'll go to the club tomorrow. I feel like going to run us too close to the sun.
I need my arm back.
Yes, and your
Yes.
hands would be very useful, I imagine.
The other two need to heal.
I also need to eat.
Right. Roxy, come with me, please.
I will go.
And Ivan is going to go up to the blood fountain.
Actually, as you come around, you see that there is a car. It's a black, sort of a town car. It's long. The windows are deeply tinted. There is a driver wearing pretty fancy get up with a cap and driving gloves and uniform, and he's sitting behind the wheel. The engine is running.
Pinstripe?
Say again?
Pinstripe suit?
No.
Okay.
No, straight black.
I'm following, by the way. I'm on my way to the
I was going to say, I actually
need
would have
food.
walked with Eddie around the other side of the building.
That's fine. And you can see clearly into the lobby that there are 3 men in the lobby currently sort of conversing calmly with Sebastian.
What do you think, Ductus?
How are they dressed?
All 3 men are dressed in black suits with white shirts and black ties. They are all Asian. 2 of them are large-ish. They are hanging closer to the door. One of them is smaller, and that's the one who's currently really chatting with Sebastian.
I will place my hand on Ivan's chest and push him back.
And I'll hold my hand up so that you guys can see on the other side of the hotel. Stay back. And Eddie and I'm going to pull us just around the corner of the building so that we can watch, but not easily be seen. Because I want to see what transpires.
We can hear that there is talking. Can we hear any of the actual words?
Do any of you have, I don't know, auspex? You do. You've been pulled out of the... you were pulled
Would I be able to
away.
listen from around the corner?
You know what? I'll let you roll. So go ahead and do your auspexy thing.
Let's see. That's heightened senses. That's
While he's doing that, Roxy, I'm going to kind of look at you and be like,
Okay.
We don't speak Latin yet.
Yeah, I will go ahead and do unseen passage then.
Oh, damn.
Okay.
Nice.
So
Oh, damn!
the conversation is actually pretty chill. The man, the shorter Asian man, is chatting with Sebastian. Sebastian is talking about his favorite music to go see live. They're just there. It is innocuous banter. They're clearly making somewhat strained small talk.
Interesting.
At a certain point, the Asian man will say, and he says in like perfect, if not almost, his accent is sort of somewhere between Asian and British, and he, but still very clearly like fluent English. He will say to Sebastian, "When did you say they would be back?" And Sebastian says, I did not. They don't really tell me these things. Okay, I heard a chime, and I'm not seeing in the chat what just happened. What just happened? I heard a chime.
What?
That was just a delayed one.
Oh,
Nobody
okay.
rolled anything.
Well, thank you for whoever did the thing that caused the chime to happen. They don't really tell me when these things occur. They just come and go as they please. But I could make you comfortable while you wait. Would you like something to drink? He says, "No, thank you. We do not drink while working. We will wait patiently."
I look to Gianna.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Close enough to hear.
Only Ivan would have heard
Only
all
Ivan
that,
heard
right?
that.
Yeah.
Yep.
We don't know what's up.
Then I guess we look to Ivan.
Yeah, I'm gonna actually go ahead and walk around the other side of the building to get to the rest of the pack.
So are we all together now on one side?
I didn't hear what Ivan was saying. Say again.
No, they appear to be waiting for us. It does not seem hostile.
That's mostly likely because in order to ensure that these two didn't die, we offered Madame Zhao not only the hands, but a favor to eradicate any Camarilla.
So, let me go. You all stay here. Ivan, how did you even hear that?
I hear many things. No, this is not the time.
Then keep your ears open. Be
Diana.
ready if we need.
What is
And I will
if
start
you
walking
need help?
towards the door.
Wait. Do you want me to follow behind you?
Oh yeah, shit.
Okay.
Yes.
Do you-
I will do.
Do you want me there with you because they already know me?
All of you should go, otherwise they will be looking.
Definitely gonna need to eat.
True.
Okay.
Ivan,
Go.
stay within earshot.
Yeah.
I still
Yeah.
only have my knife.
Ta 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 ta. Open doors.
Okay. I apologize. Hang on. I have to mute Vamp.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
It's like, yes, this is in fact Vamp. That is what we do.
Please.
So all of you went around the corner, right?
Except
Yeah.
Ivan, because
Good,
they don't
yes.
know about you.
Yep.
Yes,
Ivan
that is the
stays with-
important thing.
I'm
said
invisible though.
Stay within earshot.
Yeah, I'll probably with a missing arm, I still probably can take more punishment than Gianna can. So I'm gonna just be a little bit of a body shield.
Well, like be ready. Like she wouldn't let you go in front of her, but she would like kind of direct you like right next to her.
Yeah, I'm ready. I'm
Yeah,
ready to
Like on my shoulder. Kind of.
jump in the way and both take whatever hit's coming and also like break whatever tries to hit you.
Okay.
Okay, very sorry about that.
problem.
It was a student, and typically if my students call me, they need something right then, so because they know not to just abuse my phone number. Although, to be fair, one of them did, and so I signed them up for cat facts. Okay, so I apologize. Where were we? You guys are creeping around.
We meant
They walked into.
Okay.
The four of us.
Right, and then
Eddie,
Roxy
Diana.
did
Yeah.
her thing,
Yes.
gained a hunger. Roxy, give me Dex and Stealth. Because while you are invisible, you are not silent.
And I was just remarking that I will be standing shoulder to shoulder with Gianna, ready. Like, my first reaction to anything violent is to jump in the way of our Ductus and break whatever tried to hit her.
Okay. Okay. So do you? How
So
do you?
I am
How do you enter?
Pulling the doors open wide
Okay.
and standing in the doorway for a minute.
Making a grand
My
entrance and also allowing Roxy to get through.
Yep.
Perfect.
Both things at the same time.
When you open the door, the man at the counter will turn and say, "Ah,
Oh no.
Oh no.
what the hell? I didn't do
Now
anything."
they both froze.
Oh no, that's bad. Hang on. Go back. You
You
both
both
froze.
froze for a second. Okay, now you're back.
You're muted.
Wait, no, you're not. Yeah, you
I'm
are.
muted.
Okay. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
I don't know what the hell happened. All right. So the man behind the counter or at the counter, he turns and he says, "Ah, yes, Gianna. Nice to meet you in person. I have been sent by Ming Zhao to speak with you on a few different matters.
Oh, it's such a shame. Quite a party, I imagine.
I'm afraid I didn't hear everything you said. Could you please repeat that?"
No? Yes?
No.
There
Do it
you go.
again.
There you are.
There. Okay. So I imagine we would have had quite the party.
Party.
Too bad she probably couldn't be here in person.
Yeah, too bad she couldn't be here in person.
Ah, thank you. Ms. Zhao does not wish to. You likely won't see her again for some time, as she is quite busy, and therefore will be doing most of her business with you through me.
And your name is?
You can call me John.
Oh, that's such a dull name. You should tell me your real name and she will dominate him.
And this is why she didn't send anyone else, or didn't send herself. Okay, so you use your dominate, and dominate is resisted with what again?
I don't know the resistance. Mine's charisma plus the discipline.
Okay. Boop-a-doop-a-doop-a-doop-a-doop.
What was your result?
Power, maybe?
Yeah, no, I've got it. Okay. So roll yours.
Ooh.
Fantastic. He
Power
get.
reroll.
Say again.
3 of my failures. I'm doing a willpower reroll for 3 of my failures.
Ah, okay.
Oh, it is apparently resisted with nothing if they're human.
Yeah.
Got it.
Yep.
Nice.
Okay.
I said you will tell me your real name. Or you should tell me your real name.
And so he says, "My name is Zhang Wei."
Shanwei, it's such a nice. So, what business did she bring along with you? And your 2 friends? And your driver?
I'm here to propose to you the reclamation of a favor, and also to make a proposal specifically to Eddie.
Me?
Oh.
Yes, sir.
Let us hear it then.
Well, for the first part, Ms. Zhao has a shipment that is being held by people who she does not care much for. And these are also people that we believe you do not care much for.
You can speak freely here, but that's fine. I appreciate your careful nature.
And I hope you don't mind if I continue to be careful. But they are mafia, is what you call them.
Oh. Okay.
There is a bit of a dispute over who owns which portions of the docks. They think that they own any of it, and we say that they do not. They currently are attempting to take portions of it by force.
I see.
Yes, and
They're pushing to see what they can get away with.
exactly.
Gotcha.
And Ms. Zhao felt it would be a good test of your abilities to see what would happen if you were to do the pushing back.
Does she want this done amicably, or does she not care if bodies drop?
Any bodies that are dropped should not be located, except for she would appreciate if perhaps some sort of a message was sent. She had a few suggestions.
Would a hand carrying said message be acceptable?
Oh, the hand should be the message itself.
Oh, that's what I was implying. Good, we're on the same page.
There's no specific words that she once said.
She feels that severed body parts send the appropriate message.
Understood. And do we know the I hate how secretive everyone in this city is. Do you know the name of the outfit? Who controls them?
The Cosa Nostra.
Oh, is that all? Okay. Those are the Italians, right?
Yes.
Okay. And when I'm walking into this, is there any idea as to how many of them are mortal or otherwise?
Mortal, enhanced, immortal, we don't know exactly.
Understood. So there should be a mix of them in there. Okay. Then we'll go prepared to ensure that. And do you have a number? How many of them populate the area of the docks that we'd be entering?
They work in shifts, fewer in the day, more at night. At night, we have seen upwards of 20.
20 plus. We will assume that there will be twice as many. Possibly.
So
40.
you keep saying the which docks? I imagine there are quite a few in the city.
Oh, I have a location for you. And he hands you a business card on the back of which is written the name of the appropriate dock.
And she takes it. Who's the business card for?
The business card is for Ming Incorporated Imports.
I'm imagining that the company that Madame Zhao wants to ensure she gets her imports for. Of her packages.
So enough of that cut out. I really need you to summarize it quickly.
So I'm looking. I imagine that this is the company that her imports are from, that she will want to ensure are intact.
Yes, although any crates without that stamp are technically up for grabs.
Oh,
Good to know.
that's a benefit.
Thank you, Equiton. Or Equaton.
I think that,
Ming crates.
gentlemen, does this sound like a modest agreement that we can accede our favor to?
Yes, I don't
One
see
way
why
or
not.
another.
We are problem solvers, and this seems like a problem that needs to be solved. Not a problem at all.
Then I think we're in agreement.
Excellent.
We will take on this
She will
problem.
be pleased to hear it. The
It won't be at least until tomorrow night.
I would not assume. We knew that we were coming here close to your retirement for the
Do those windows protect you? And I look at the windows in the car because they're tinted.
I would not know. I am not of your persuasion.
Ah.
As for the business proposal, Mr. Eddie, we have...
I thought that was the proposal to me.
No.
Oh no, favor.
That was the request for a favor to be completed.
So that my compatriots don't die. Understood.
For you specifically, Ms. Zhao would like to offer a food delivery service.
Oh.
She wants me to deliver food.
Yes.
No, Eddie.
Well,
Ford.
sorry, no. She wants, well, me to deliver you food several times a week.
That is very kind of her.
It is not free.
Ah, I see. What is the price?
Well, several $100, and also a few favors of a similar sort as the one we have just proposed to you this evening.
I see. Keeping us under thumb. Very clever. Very clever indeed.
But also keeping you sane.
And alive.
Yes.
Yes.
I have an issue with this proposal.
Yes.
There's 2 levels to it. One or the other seems sufficient to me. I'm fine with the favors, but not also a payment.
Before you control my mind, I should let you know that the price that was laid out for me to give to you is one that Ms. Zhao set out before me. If I return with anything less, the deal will not be considered to be complete.
To negotiate.
It is all or nothing in this particular case.
I think we can make do without.
If that's the proposal, I think, well, as much as I would like to keep Eddie sane easily, we are of limited means. We do not have everything going. We are small.
Yes.
Can offer.
Our money is not infinite.
The
What is
money
our time?
portion is more negotiable, perhaps, than the favors are. But I am capable of returning to her with a counter proposal. However, she did feel, based on what we know about you, that this would be fair. And also considering the gross, what you would call impoliteness that Gianna showed to our leader, that you would understand why she must deal with you perhaps somewhat less favorably.
She should also understand that I protect my own. She is very protective of her domain, of her people, and I am very protective of mine. I think that she would actually agree with me more.
Yes, but you
I
did go
understand that
into her home
I
and
proposed it, fine, but that
You-
was to protect mine.
you were invited into her home where you were under her protection, and then you used your magical powers on her. She is not as pleased by that as perhaps others that you deal with would be in such a situation.
We
However,
are doing her favor.
that is the minimum she feels. However,
I
as
can give her 60 a week, along with the favors, and that will be my counter proposal.
she does not want the money from you, however. She wants the money from Eddie.
Mine is his.
If that is how you view it, then fine. The
If I may,
yes.
if this has become an issue, and I look to Gianna, the last thing I want is for my issues to become my friend's issues. So, if it is in the interest of all of us, I could try to find my own food, difficult as it may be.
I think you misinterpret. I apologize. Perhaps it is my poor linguistic skills. The money does not go to her. The money goes to the families of the people who she procures the food from. It is meant to ease their suffering.
Oh, if that's the issue, then we can provide the stock.
No, you can't. Not unnoticeably.
So you think.
So I know.
Obviously, Madame Zhao has assumed quite a lot about us.
Madame
would rather
Zhao is not the
negotiate
only
this with-
person who is perhaps becoming aware of your presence in this town.
Yes, we are not the quietest people.
She would like to help you in this endeavor so that you can continue to do the things that you do. No one knows exactly where you are.
Ah, so really, with this deal that you're bringing us, the favor of the dogs, to ensure that my friends don't die, to apologize for what we did in her home. The deal with the food and the favors therefore after, to pay for her keeping us quiet.
Yes.
There's more layers to this than you're actually explaining to us.
Well, the idea is, here's what I want to know. The food, our payments to you, and the small favors that follow with the food. The money and the small favors are to pay for both the food and for her keeping us quiet.
Yes.
How does that sound? Does that seem more reasonable to everyone? Yes. So as long as that is part of the deal, and to ensure that her keeping us quiet does not add unto the deal any further missions for us, then I think we're all in accord.
it is still the amount of money that we can afford. However, that is the sticking
We
point.
really don't have that much money.
We really don't.
The amount of money can be settled over time. So here's an ST note. What he's attempting to explain in-game, but something that you guys might not be aware of out of game, since I haven't really communicated this necessarily. It is possible to transfer certain kinds of dots on your sheet to other people for the settling of payments. So in this particular case, what he's essentially asking for is a permanent dot of resources from someone.
Bump.
So it's basically pay for this with XP, and then you have it.
Oh.
Hey, so I'm doing it right now. I'm just doing it. It's coming off of my sheet right now.
I can't
Done.
say anything, but I did have a dot.
Don't worry about it. It's off my sheet.
Well, good. We
That-
can use that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
So with the wire transfer set up, the body transfers will begin soon.
Now, just so that we are clear, what kind of bodies are you bringing me?
The kind you need.
What are the kind that I need?
I have not been given details. I have been assured that the people who know, and the people
Eddie,
who...
you did explain it to her well enough.
Did
She
I?
would understand. Yes.
Okay. I don't really remember. My memory's not too good.
That's why I'm telling you.
Good.
3 days a week? What days would you prefer?
Are we like, do we like know what day it is normally? I totally
Yeah,
have no
what day?
fucking idea what day it is normally. in game.
Today's...
Can we just like say whatever?
Yeah,
and,
that's
like,
fine. Yeah,
Right.
Days.
We go blah, 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 days.
that sounds excellent. It will begin then. The first meal will arrive tomorrow.
That's excellent, and you can tell her if it's, any aided addition. Though it was delicious what I ate last time. No special spices are needed unless she feels so inclined or her cook feels so inclined to practice his practice.
These meals, they will be prepared, but not in the same way.
Good. No needed to go extra. Also, I had an extra question. If you could simply bring this question to her, I would like to know, where do you make your knives?
Ancient Chinese secret. And he grabs his mat and says, "We will now leave you.
All right. Thank you, sir.
Have a good night."
You too.
He grabs his overcoat off the countertop, and they head out the door.
As they head out the door, I would like to take down the license plate, please.
Sure. The license plate is whatever the license plate is.
I will follow
Welcome,
them
Beth.
out to the road. Like once I get to the road, I'll stop and I'll just watch them leave. Watch the car drive off.
Sure.
Not return until they're out of sight.
Okay.
And then I trigger the bomb that's underneath their car. No, I'm just kidding. Why? Okay. Well, that was interesting.
So once they're long gone,
Ivan.
would like to come back from around the side of the
Yes.
around behind the building.
And I will become visible again.
I will like stomp away over to the food. I'm not happy.
He's gonna go into the lobby where everyone is. How are you all not dead?
Because apparently we're a better tool to her than we are dead.
No, you're unbelievably rude. Is what I mean by how are you not dead?
You realize that America isn't exactly kind, right? It's not like the old countries,
I thought
where
the proper
pomp
response
and
was-
circumstance and being gentle is the expectation.
Which is exactly why tradition dictates, especially in their circles, that kindness and respect is everything. I am again amazed that she did not kill you particularly. You dominated her in her home.
She threatened to kill ours. I was
Wait.
not going to stand for it.
When did you do that? I didn't see you do that.
Do you remember when I said you will not kill them and suddenly she changed their mind
Yeah. You
and
attempted,
accepted their hands?
you attempted to dominate them while
Well, I
surrounded.
did.
Okay. Okay, hey guys, remember in the woods when I was talking about how we communicate with each other? This is what I mean. This is what I mean. Duchess, you are my Duchess, and with all respect, I will follow you into hell and back. But that being said, we need to communicate more. Maybe in those situations, we try to talk to those people, come to agreements. She was willing to make a deal. And if you're gonna dominate her, at least just warn me ahead of time so I can at least get my hands prepared.
Okay, so
That's all
in
I
general then, Eddie,
Yes.
if someone won't actually give us an important piece of information like their real name, I'm going to try to get it out of them.
Understood. I will
Why?
be ready.
Because it's rude to lie to someone's face. Because if someone threatens me and mine, I won't stand for it. I promise to protect you all. And that is my job as your Duchess.
By getting us killed. Gianna, let me ask you a question. Are you a fan of horses?
No.
No? I'm surprised, for you are like a prancing pony. You want to be perfect and pretentious and posturing. And that will get us killed when we do not have an upper hand. You
So
want
be
to protect
gentler
us,
in the
you want to-
meantime until I can
I am
actually hit them with the
speaking,
hammer?
Duchess. Please do not interrupt me. Listen to your priest. Listen to your spiritual guidance for a moment, please.
You have a point.
If you want to protect us, if you want to keep us alive, swallow your pride for victory. Pride gives you nothing if you cannot back it up. Madame Zhao can back it up, clearly. She has people, she has connections, she has resources. She is currently doing us a kindness to see if we are worthy of this. What you did to our man was disrespectful again. Yes, he is in our home, and we should treat him with respect.
Even though he is kind? Even though he is fodder to feed us?
He is not our fodder to feed on yet.
What do you mean,
True.
fodder to feed on?
Humans.
What do you know of him? Tell me
Mortals.
more. What do you know about him?
His true name.
And what does he do?
He works for Madame Zhao,
Doing what?
ferrying her information. So you
How does he get that information? You see, the more questions you ask, the less you are giving me. You know a name. Congratulations. You wasted an opportunity on a name. Names are useless. Names are replaceable.
This is true.
all
You
right.
need to be smarter than this. Please. As a leader, we expect much of you. Do not posture. Swallow the pride. For by doing that, appear weak, so that when we strike when they don't expect it. If we posture and run around like peacocks, pretending that we know what we are doing at all times, when it is clear we do not, no one will take us seriously.
It is a failing of mine. I would hope that all of you might my extreme personal pride in myself. I will work on that, Ivan. And I ask that you all hold me to it.
Unquestionably, we shall.
We all obviously have work to do and things to get better at here.
Yes.
Any ways that I can assist anyone, I will. If perhaps you need assistance with your particular issue, seek it. Perhaps Ivan can assist you in the ways of talking to people like that. If anybody else needs training in how to kill someone very, very quickly and efficiently, come to me or even perhaps Isaac, and we can help you in that way. If anyone needs to learn how to use a gun, come to me. I know how to use them. Things of that nature. If I need to learn how to drive, I'll come to Isaac. These are things that we can help each other figure out, but we all obviously need to begin to work and be more careful. That being said, I will, if it goes poorly, kill for you and die for you. Not because you are beautiful people or because I care for you on a personal level, but because we are Sabbat and we are in this together.
Exactly. So when we strike, make it from a position of strength.
Yes.
We should be like coiled vipers. You may think we are kept as pets, but when it comes time, we can strike hard, and leave no trace.
Do people in your country keep vipers as pets?
Of course.
That's terrifying. Why would they keep vipers as pets? Does anyone else keep vipers as pets?
I have not had one, but members of the family I was a part of did have them on
don't like
on
snakes.
occasion.
They freak me out.
Noted. Now, also, I believe we should offer an apology to Madame Zhao as well for this extreme rudeness. That will go much, much farther for her.
What do we have of value?
I still need to grow mine back.
Consider this. But first, let us recenter ourselves, perhaps with a Valdery.
I think that's a fine way to wind down the night.
I think so as well.
I need to
Then-
feed.
And then I need to make alterations to our feeding station
Our
to make it more effective.
I'm gonna go and take a little bit of blood from the fountain. Not very much. Just
Actually,
just one dot. Because just need a little bit.
Before you do that, I do want to go and tap one of the fountains and get them with a slow drip of vodka, just enough to get it in the blood.
For anyone who is currently unaware, who is watching this right now, when they refer to a fountain, that's because they have managed to rig up a system of suspended human blood dolls and a little bit of piping to make effectively hot and cold running blood.
Mostly hot, really.
A people sink, if you will.
Wow.
Just wait until I remove the excess plumbing. That's next.
Yeah. Okay. So all of that is fine. The vodka thing works. What you notice, by the way, though, Ivan, is that the people who you have in here, because you haven't replaced them. It's been a little over a week now. They're beginning to fade a bit. The constant strain on the body and the shock and everything else is just, it's too much. You really don't think that you could keep these ones here for a whole heck of a lot longer.
Could would giving them some of ours make them last longer? That's a question to Ivan, in universe.
Okay.
It would strengthen them some, yes. Let me think. Or I can just... Let me think on this. I might have better uses for these.
We could get more prostitutes.
That is obvious and flashy, and... Again, I think we need more subtle solutions.
People won't be shocked if those near death in the hospital move on.
Exactly.
If we turn them into ghouls, will they not die?
Good question. Would Ivan know that?
So Ivan would have some inklings. Go ahead and give me... Hang on. Go ahead and give me a... let's call it...
Medicine intelligence?
Well, sort of. Do you have any dots in occult?
Oh, yes.
Okay, let's... So here's what I want. I want you to give me occult and intelligence, but you can use your specialty in medicine if it applies.
Anesthetics or surgery?
Surgery, yeah, I'll allow.
So +1?
Yep.
Okay.
Okay. So is it possible? Yes. The problem is they also don't generate that much blood after a certain point. So it's an imperfect system that is in the end inefficient, because at a certain point you would need to put more blood back into them than what they're actually giving you. And so ghouling them would work for a little bit, but once the blood that you give them is out of their system, then all of the aging, or in this case degradation of their system that was paused from when they had the vampiric blood in them, will then all happen at once. So it's sort of like leaving something in a freezer for a while to keep it going. If when you then removed it from the freezer, it immediately aged the amount of time it had been in there.
So it's not a useful way to do
What we
it.
probably want to do is just
there's
cycle
a lot
people out of the hospital, because they would normally go to a crematorium. If Ivan signs them as dead before they're dead and they're sent to the crematorium, we can just take them out and transport them in the garbage truck and just have a constant cycling supply of them.
That would help with spreading tuberculosis.
I've realized an inefficiency in the system. They don't need things like eyes, mouths, and extremities. It's wastes of blood.
It's true.
Yeah.
Let me work on a new solution.
Am I able to eat before you
Yes,
experiment?
please do.
Okay.
Please do.
I want to take 3 dots.
Can we notice when one of us is looking like hungry and not good?
You don't notice it on sight. You can kind of pick it up through their mannerisms.
Gotcha. Okay.
So I'll head over to the chapel since apparently we're doing a Valkyrie.
So, because I remember Roxy got fed back when I cut her hand off, and now she's feeding again, right?
She needs it.
Yeah, I needed
Yeah,
it.
yeah. No, that's fine. Roxy,
Yes.
how hungry were you in Chinatown?
I was starving.
Why? You ate before we left.
What I do takes a lot out of me.
I see. Ivan, for someone like Roxy, you need to feed on blood and I think a little bit of booze, right?
And
Give it-
someone who's preferably sleeping.
Okay, well, booze and sleeping is a good combination. Ivan, what do you think?
Perfect.
We have a taxi. My idea for this is we keep somebody drunk and unconscious in the trunk of our taxi for her to drink out of if we're out on the field. What do you think?
The taxi outside.
Yes.
The
It's
one
ours
that
now.
Looks like no other taxi on the streets.
Yes. We took it. It's a long. We took that taxi.
It would look terribly suspicious in the daylight, but in the night, it should fit right in.
I just want to be very clear. The taxi that is conspicuously different. This is the one you mean?
Yeah, the cheap taxi. See, we figured we paint cheap on it. That way it's different.
Different.
Pretty smart, I think.
The common people don't know they don't know which taxis are which most of the time. The people I'm concerned about are actual taxi companies going, hey, that's my taxi.
So paint it dark like a car.
I'm just talking about a food source that we can feed Roxy out in the field when she uses her powers, because she's going to use them often. I can also buy a canteen of blood and mix it with a little bit of, buy a canteen, fill it with blood, and mix a little bit of alcohol in there, but I'm not sure if that would work for her.
It is an experiment we can do.
Okay, then I'll buy a canteen the next time we're out.
Yeah. Sorry. I love the idea of excuse me, sir. Knock, knock, knock. This is a routine traffic stop. Care to open the trunk?
No.
Help me.
No, I don't want.
Help me.
Man with tubes coming out of him.
Yeah.
Out of the back.
Can we just stop in the alley?
I have been alive many years, as many of you have. My particular talents and artistic pursuits have made it important to recognize the importance of blending in. I look at that down there, and I see something like a spotlight. If you want to blend in, you must look like everything else. No one pays attention.
All right, I'll fix it later.
Inconspicuous is our friend. Until such a point that we have, again, the power to run things. And then we can do things differently.
I just want to pause you for a moment and say, woohoo, there's 50 people on the stream. All right, okay.
Holy shit!
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Sorry, continue.
Hi, everybody. I love you all.
Oh my god, that's so
Least amount of people in this
good.
one.
Ooh, okay.
We haven't killed anybody in this one, and we got 50 people.
No, I totally drank our cabbie.
Oh, you did kill a taxi guy. Okay, we killed a guy.
Sorry. Hate to bust your bubble, but I did.
No, you busted his, but details.
Okay, so you've solved your thing there.
Right. Before we continue, we should do a Valkyrie. So
Yes,
let us
and
go to
then-
the chapel.
We should probably sleep for the evening.
Yes.
Excellent. So as per usual, I'm looking for Ivan primarily to sort of get this set up and do his thing. Gianna, did you have a question?
Nope.
Okay.
I'm just pulling things up on my screen.
Okay.
I'm pulling up my
Go to the
D10.
chapel and we're gonna
Gonna
have
do a
Valkyrie.
Valkyrie.
Anyway,
Right then. Then please, let us take the goblet. And Ivan will drip blood into the goblet and pass it to Gianna.
And Gianna will drip exactly as much to Eddie.
Sorry, drip exactly what?
Exactly the same amount you did.
Good.
I'll take it. Slit my wrist with the knife. Drain into the goblet. Hand it over to Roxy.
I will bite my wrist and drip some in and then hand it over to Isaac.
I will press it up against the stump of my arm and just kind of push at it to force blood to drip out.
Of all the things we do in this is the one.
This is what got me. like a tube of toothpaste or something. Like a sponge. You're like squeezing the last bit out.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh God.
I hand it to Ivan.
We are a motley fucking crew.
Then, tenebrae pater noster, qui est nobiscum, sanctificator nomen tuum, observa hoc sacramento, nostra devotio, procubis tibi ut opus, testem prophet Gladio, quia potestas, et gloria in Cain. Amen.
Amen.
Rank. Pass to Gianna.
Who are flaws but improving them. Eddie.
As always, to the death of the Camarilla and the victory of the Sabbat. To Roxy.
To winning LA. To Isaac.
Sacrifice. Kind of holding up the stump of my arm. And I finish it and hand it to Ivan. All right. You ready to roll?
All right, who
Alrighty.
we rolling for first?
So, I want everyone to roll for Ivan.
We just rolled D10s, right?
Yep, single
Okay.
D10. Gianna, you go up 2 to Ivan. Shogun.
I mean, that makes sense.
No change. Jumi, you go up 1 to Ivan. Zombie, no change.
It doesn't.
Yeah, I was
Isaac
gonna say,
get a
doesn't it
plus
fall?
one regardless?
I interpret what he's saying because
Oh,
I get
okay,
it.
got it.
I get it.
Cool.
Don't worry about it.
Yep. Next to, we'll just go to Eddie.
Oops.
Up 1, up 1, down 1, down 1.
And that was Eddie?
Yeah.
Just for me.
Okay.
Next for Gianna. Up 1, no change. Up 1. I think a 2 is down 1, correct? I believe it is. And now for Isaac. Up 1, no change, no change.
Not like I'm not using this as a like important meta knowledge, but everyone else I've got fairly high, and Roxy I have a 3.
Yeah, I mean, these things happen.
Yeah.
And then finally, the last one is for
Roxy.
Roxy.
Yeah, I got it.
There you go.
No
Yeah, there you go.
change. It looks like everyone except for Isaac goes up 1. Everyone else is nothing. Or Gianna, do you go up 1?
I go up 1, right?
Yeah, I think so.
'Cause it's a
Actually,
6.
yep.
Yeah, Ivan likes pretty much none of you except for Isaac.
Yeah, whatever.
4 to Isaac.
Something about us.
Mine are Roxy and Ivan.
Wait, guys, we're not supposed to talk about this. We're not supposed to talk about this.
Yeah.
We're not supposed to meta talk about this. Stop it.
So, for anyone watching who isn't aware, so the Sabbat, they do a thing. It's called the Valdery. They gain a supernatural bond to each other through this ritual. It's
We pass around the "Do you like me? Yes, no, maybe" notes, and then it comes
Oh
back.
my gosh.
Uh,
The yes, no, maybe goblet. I love it.
And so from there, you guys finish up. Does anyone have any last thing to do before they go to bed?
I want to, for the future, to never be stuck in a situation like that again without it. I want to saw off the barrel of the shotgun that I bought and the stock so that it is pistol grip and shorter barrel, and I can keep it under a large jacket in case we go into situations like that again.
Yes, we've all seen Terminator 2. Okay.
Yes.
That's totally fine.
I'm going to mention to Ivan, so I have a corpse if you want one.
Oh, excellent. I can use the body currently. Thank you.
Okay, well,
Also, just right now, I'd like to do my rouse check to get my arm back.
Oh, yeah.
You'll do that in the
didn't-
morning.
Yeah, you didn't get a
Oh,
rouse
okay.
check today because it was still the same night.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, you'll get one when you wake up next. Hence,
Okay.
hence rouse. Okay, so with that, I'm gonna call the game. So good session, everybody. And so I'd like to go around and do our ups and downs. And then we will toss the love on to someone else, I believe. Throck, or do we have a following?
There's a game at 4, right?
I'm looking for Throck to sort of confirm that. To let me know, but I think we're still going to be passing it on to someone else in the short term, and then we'll pass it back, or when they start, then we'll do their thing. Yep, yeah. So we're going to go ahead. We'll
Okay.
raid someone. Probably going to be the Greyhawk channel.
Real fast question: do
Yeah.
we want to do our additional convictions or our
Oh, yeah.
Whatever
if
those
you got
are.
a stain?
no, not those, but just to like pushing into deeper inhumanity? Do we want to? Is that a downtime thing or a now thing?
That'll be a downtime thing.
Okay, cool.
I want to work my way through it as well.
like this one? He's talking about finding goblets.
Ooh.
Yes.
Yeah, off stream we'll
Yes.
Okay, I just wanted to be sure.
talk.
So, uppies and downies. I would like to start with Isaac, actually. Ups, downs, and nominations for Sweet Roleplay.
I got really excited with the plans. Like, I really like the shovelhead plan. As awful as it is, it's terrible. But also, like, I like the idea of just shredding the masquerade like that, of just a train showing up full of a bunch of brand new vampires that have already like fought each other for a couple hours probably on the way there. So we already have like weeded out the weaker ones and have more brutal, strong ones who probably have a bit of taste for vampire blood already at this point, bursting out into the city and just hunting down everything, but particularly possibly vampires. I like it. I really liked that. Down. I don't know. I don't feel like I did much this session. I just got like kind of stood by, like, okay, that sounds good for most of it. But and nomination, I really don't know. Everybody did good. I would probably say actually Eddie, because he was putting together good plans and at the negotiation sort of is like, okay, here's an actual plan to put forward and stop this negotiation, just get to a neat conclusion.
Cool.
Yeah.
Thank you very much. I'm with you on all that. I understand the feeling of not doing much. There are some times where, like when I'm playing games, or even actually today when I was running it, there were a lot of times where I was like, I'm just gonna let them go. Okay, well, perfect. So that's one nomination for Eddie. Roxy, how are you feeling?
Pretty good. I don't actually think I have like a down for this game. Everything was really good. The up is definitely the planning. Just having us plan for like a good 25 minutes and like throwing around ideas at each other, that was fantastic. I really enjoyed it. And the nomination definitely goes for me to Ivan, because I love the idea of spreading around tuberculosis. That I really, really, really love.
Excellent. Yeah, there was a moment where I went, "Oh my god, that is an unexpected plan of attack." Okay, like sure, let's see where that goes.
RPGs, man.
I really like how we're gonna be doing some terribly enormous stuff that the other groups can't like ignore. Like it's just gonna shock the world and it's gonna affect everything.
Also take a while to do.
Yeah. Yeah.
Those are big build-ups, but that's cool because that gives us stuff to do. I like it.
Eddie, how you feeling? Up, down, nom?
Loved it. Love the planning. I love sessions like this where even though there wasn't like any kick-ass like fights or anything like that, but the role play was so cool. Like it was just so neat. Like how I love how in depth we got and how like into the world we got, where we really were coming up. Like I imagine us drawing in the sand, like coming up with plans right there. I loved it. Downs, I don't know. I liked this one. I mean, I don't think I think all of us were pretty on point for our characters. I think, I don't know. I personally, I can't think of one. I don't think of anywhere where like any of us particularly like messed up or didn't do something or whatever. I think it was good. And then I guess nominations. I'm gonna also pick Ivan, not just for the plan of the tuberculosis, but the shit he's doing in the hospital. Where like he's like the literal devil. Like, oh, I see that you're killing these patients. Well, what do you? No. I like it. And then even with them, he turns to Roxy and is like, I need to know if they can either be turned or eliminated. And it's like, ew, like you were just deals with them. Yes, well, like they weren't what I wanted. So we need to change. Like, ooh, just no middle of the road with this man. And I really like how you are playing the character, how you are role playing him, where he is a consistent, just psychopath. And it's very good, very good villain, very good character. So that's definitely where my nomination goes.
Gianna.
Dear Lord, this was phenomenal. I loved actually getting to do more like talking and explaining of things. So that was really cool. My up, like, funny enough, like Gianna needs to be put in her place sometimes. And I appreciate so much that Ivan was just like, oh no, lady, you need to come down off your fucking high horse.
Priest, man.
So that was that, and that's the thing is that like there is a balance in the Sabbat on purpose. The priest and the ductus are considered equal. The ductus doesn't control the whole thing, and then the priest is under. And that's on purpose. My down was just like trying to take down notes while also role playing is so hard. So like I'm missing information and. Just because we were so into the role playing, like I wasn't writing things down. So that's really my down.
Also that.
Yeah, also the freezing.
Yeah. Yay. Okay, am I back now?
Yeah,
Yay. Now.
Well, you were.
Oh God.
We're gonna have to figure out some other system. I don't know what yet, but we're gonna have to figure something else out.
I don't know.
We'll I know a couple of people we can talk to maybe fix it. Go fast.
I
If there's
think
anything
I'm
else you
gonna
want to
give
add.
my nom.
Yeah.
I'm giving my nom, I think, to Ivan, specifically for scolding Gianna.
Okay.
Just knowing his place to be able to do that. Because I think everybody kind of wanted to. But he was just like, no, I'm in a place to do it, and you need to shut up.
Fair.
So that's my nom.
I personally like it when the characters like do things like that. Like when a character fucks up in game, it makes it there's such opportunity for stuff to happen. Like if we all played it perfectly and did everything that these genius vampires would do, this would be a very boring game, I feel like. But like we fuck up and it's like, oh shit. Whoops. And then you gotta clean it up. And I don't know, I like that. It breathes story.
Well, and it's like we're still human. Even vampires are like, they came from humans. Guess what? They're flawed. I did want to say, though, that all of our reactions, watched Ivan come up with the idea, Jack come up with the idea. He looked horrified and then excited and explained it. We all were horrified and then excited.
Yeah.
But like, it's what the Sabbat lets us do, and I think that's
Yeah.
It's good stuff. Good stuff. What do you think, Dan?
Well, it's Ivan's turn actually.
Oh, whoops.
So wow, yeah, this was a blast. I came into this not having seen what happened last week, so it was a perfect opportunity for Ivan to just be like, "You did what?" And to just like role play that through. And one of the big ups for me was, just watching that whole interplay and reactions that Gianna was having, just with like, "No, I'm the boss, fuck you." And it was great. I mean, it was a beautiful, beautiful portrayal of character. And that's actually why I'm giving my nomination for Gianna, it was perfectly played character, and it created those spaces for more RP opportunities and ways to really tie in with other things that are happening. And it was great. So thank you. Yeah, it was it was just a blast across the board. I really don't have a down. No, it was great. Like, yeah, it was a damn good session.
Yay. My feeling, honestly, is pretty much what everyone's already vocalized. I don't have a whole heck of a lot more to add. The roleplay was fantastic. I'm happy for now. To be fair, I don't think that I'd want every session to be that much talking. I like it. I always like a mix. But I really love when it makes sense for what's happening, and when you guys have legitimate beef to work out, which holy shit you did, for that to be what goes down. And I really liked the way you guys are inhabiting your characters, and really seem to know who they are and how they would react. I thought that was really solid stuff. A session in which I basically don't have to interact very much is pretty great. And there was basically a solid hour of just me sort of watching TV almost. And so that was really, really cool. My only down is technical issues. And we're going to try to work to find a solution. I had originally hoped that having someone else host the chat part of it might make it a little better. But that doesn't seem to be enough.
It was better,
but it wasn't good enough yet. So we'll take a look and see what we can do to deal with that. But otherwise, everything was solid. I'm a real big fan of how this all went. So quick plug, please out there, don't forget to come back to us next Saturday at noon Eastern Standard. As well, don't forget that the Anarch game is on Tuesday at 8:30 Eastern.
Yes.
And that the Cam game is on Wednesday.
And Anarch is on Soul Bear RPG.
Yeah. Yes. The Anarch game is on Soul Bear RPG at 8:30 Eastern, and the Cam game is on Wednesday at 8 Eastern, I believe. Don't forget about on this channel at 4:00 they've called it Death of a Thonot. which is a D&D 5e monster campaign featuring Quaggoths as PCs, which premieres today, hopefully, at 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Also, please don't forget that So Maddie, or rather So Nerdware, is a sponsor, and that you can now get sweet merch at sonerdware.com, including Welcome to the Party merch, and there is a Crusade of Thorns t-shirt.
And Zed?
Yeah.
There are new to the party shirts now.
Ooh. Totally gonna have to get one. So yeah, does anyone else have any quick plugs to say before we spread the love?
More plugs for the Pokemon thing. It has several other campaigns characters represented. The Mimic Knights are there. The new to the party characters are there. And we're going to play in a Pokemon tournament against them. And if they have any good Pokemon, we will kill them in their sleep and take them.
Yeah, that's usually how that worked out.
That's pretty cool.
What?
I know that for a little while I was an
Pokemon
NPC
game
in
is
that game. I was one of the
dark.
gym trainers, I believe.
Yeah, you still are.
Yes.
I think we beat the hell out of you. Yeah, we
Yeah.
Yeah,
beat
we
the hell out of
nearly
you.
killed Portia's character in that game.
Wait, which character?
You are a gym leader in that game.
Am I a cat?
Wait, no, maybe I'm mistaken.
I
No,
was gonna-
no, I swear
No, you
that's
said.
no.
We
Wait.
one-rounded Zed.
Oh yeah, we almost
Yeah.
killed Zed. I'm mistaken. Yeah,
Okay,
we
I
almost
was gonna
killed Zed.
say.
Yeah,
Yep.
and we broke his building too.
Oh.
He had a ziggurat, and we broke it in half.
Zedrin Stormsinger.
Well, that was no, it was actually me as a character. Like,
Yeah.
yeah.
Oh, I'm misunderstanding. I'm sorry.
Yeah, that was in the early games too. Okay, so we're gonna go ahead. We're gonna raid the Greyhawk channel. So please stick with us for that, and then come back here at 4 o'clock to watch some Quaggoths do some D's and D's. Thank you very much, everybody. We'll see you guys next week, and have a good weekend. Bye-bye.
Love you all.
Bye.
Or I could spell it the Gruey Hawk channel.
Grewhawk channel.
For some reason, I don't think that works.
Oh,
I don't know. The Grewhawk channel actually sounds really fun.
The Quaggoths are gonna do some D's and D's.
Uh-huh.
Hey.
Is that right?
Here we go.
There we go. All right.
Not my D or my D.
Bye.
But it could be. Okay.
Boop.
Nice.
How much XP did we get?